Daddy's. Daddy's.
Welcome back to another week with us here at Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff,
Howdy, howdy, I'm Silas.
and we got a big week for you this week. We got two playlists, we got some more metal news, we got some stories to talk about the past couple weeks. Let's just kind of get right into it. Olson, what have you
Hi.
been up to?
Oh, just smashing some faces with hammers uh, uh, and and harvesting inhumanely and bleeding and yeah, I don't
Have
know.
you been dancing in a discordant system?
Yes, yeah, I have very much so. And it's been great. Had this rational gaze that happened that came over me the last, week or so. And, yeah, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing time. But yeah, no, dude, the show was amazing. Meshuggah, Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass. If you don't know about it, it's an epic tour going on right now. I don't know where they're at currently, but, they're at the pageant. Let's see, last Wednesday. Um, Dude, it was so badass, man. It was the funnest metal show that I've been to in a very, very long time. Like, it's pretty much a Carcass going into it. I was on the fence. I could give or take. Like, I don't know. I've never been a big Carcass fan. Never really been into them a whole lot. They got some cool riffage. Like, they got some cool techie parts. Um, but their vocals, they're kind of like one lane. Um, I don't know. It's just I've never really been a crazy fan of Carcass. It was cool seeing them live, but dude, Cannibal Corpse. Oh my gosh, they crushed. Like
Mm-hmm.
I guess I had under anticipated what they were going to be like. I was like, oh yeah, going to see the Legends Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, they're going to be cool. But no, dude, like they were like a literal hammer smashing with every song, like right in front of me. And the set choice, like the song picks was just insane. I think that I don't know how methodically they really thought about their set list of how crushing it is, but dude, like the set that they're running right now is just it absolutely crushes. It's just and you get great cannibal hits in it. They started out with Scourge of Iron, and then they go into Blood Blind, which I totally forgot about that song. Like Chaos Horrific came out like what 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I think so.
It's it's new enough to where like we didn't catch it on the playlist. I think it came out just the year before the play or before the
Mm-hmm.
podcast. I mean, um, but holy shit, dude! I forgot like how freaking hard that song goes. Like it just opens with the most crushing breakdown. Sounds like a breakdown, It's just dun, 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 dun. It's just oh so heavy. And I did one of my giggle moments. Like I was so ecstatic. Like whenever I heard it kick in, that it was like one of those moments. Like it came to me. I was like, oh yeah, this song. But I couldn't remember the song title for the life of me live. But all I could just see was like whenever like they gave no warning before going into that song. Like Scourge of Iron ends and they're doing like their guitar ring outs and shit, and the crowd's just like cheering and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's just dun, 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 dun. And I was like, holy shit. I literally like chuckled out loud. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. But it was like the synchronized headbang too. It just added to it, man. Like every member in that band was just fucking totally like in total synchronization. Eric Rutan was so happy to see that dude live, and he ripped every song. Uh, I mean, just fucking flawless performance, man. They killed it. They absolutely killed it. And Corpse Grinder, like, I don't know how much like crowd play he did when you seen them, but he didn't do very much. He did like in between, I want to say a couple songs out of 10. I think their set was like 10 songs. So they played a good while, but he only like talked to the crowd or interacted like between a couple of those. But it was really cool, man. Whenever he did choose to do that, um, it was interesting because when he chose to talk to the song, it was after like a handful of songs. It was deep into the set, and then he does the whole "How the fuck are we doing tonight?" and that yada yada type shit, and I can't hear you, and all that. I mean, it was cool. It was their version of it, but it was interesting because he was just like, "All right, motherfuckers, we're gonna play Unleashing the Bloodthirsty or something like that. I think it's called."
Hmm.
And I didn't really know that song, and I think the rest of the crowd kind of had the same reaction because after every word that Corpse Grinder said, it was like, ah, yeah. But then after he announced Unleashing the Bloodthirsty, it kind of went crickets, and it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really know the song, but after seeing it live, I was like, damn, this is a badass song, dude. And so not only did they have a stellar performance, but like really got me to delve into their discography. I had to seek out that song, Unleashing the Bloodthirsty, and it does deserve an intro like that. It's a badass song, dude. It's got sick riffage. Um, yeah, dude. I don't know. I was just um, very impressed, man. Like they are such a great band live, and it makes sense as to why they're such huge legends. But and then I didn't know it could get any better. And then Meshuggah comes on, and it's just like, yeah, I was just in bliss. It was like an hour trance. I was just gone. But it's amazing experience, dude. Meshuggah played a hell of a set, and it was different than the last time I seen them. Last time, it was at the same venue about close to 10 years ago. I mean, they were touring the last album, Violent Sleep of Reason there, playing with High on Fire, um, which was cool to see, but I've never really been a big, crazy High on Fire fan, so I was just like kind of meh. But it was fun. But this performance, I was really captivated by. Last time, I at least got to get to the pit, and what's crazy about this show is it was sold out, and we were just talking about how you checked in on prices the day of, and how they've kind of went down, and so I think a few episodes ago we were pretty much saying that they scalpers had got a hold of the tickets or whatever, but
Hmm.
I mean they must have sold them all because that place was fucking a can of sardines, dude, and to the point where which I wonder if you think this is bullshit, but I was pretty pissed off. They were denying access to the pit, even though I had a general admission ticket. Yeah, first time I've ever seen this. And you know how the pageant kind of has its pit section, and then
Hmm.
it's got alleyways or hallway or walkways, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah,
and
to the
then it
upper.
has like yeah, just like to like the floor where the bar's at. Like it kind of
Hmm.
steps down, It steps down in sections. And so like the first section you have like kind of like a handrail standing area, I don't know. You have a couple of those and then it gets to the pit. Well, there was literally security standing at in those walkways and like blocking it off. Like nope, no more people can go to the pit. It's like, what the fuck? I paid for a general admission ticket, dude. How are you gonna fuck? And they were douchey motherfuckers. It was like the nerdy kids that have been made fun of 30 years ago. They're now working the security job because they fucking hate life and they hate everyone else and they want everyone else to have that shit time that they had their whole life. And so you could just tell with their demeanor that they were fucking total tools and it's like whatever, man. Like I seen him bicker with so many people trying to get to that pit, and I just felt bad. It's just like I got it though. Like it's such bullshit. You pay for a general admission ticket. That's access to wherever that floor is, man. If
Hmm.
you guys wanted to zone out that pit, then you should have sold pit tickets. You shouldn't have sold general admission, and that's their own fault. If it's fucking a can of sardines, dude, you got to let it happen. We all paid that price,
Yeah.
so I don't see how. I honestly was sitting there thinking in my head, I'm like, dude, this is a lawsuit. Like I should get a lawyer right now. you know, it was. I really was thinking that I could take that industry that venue down, but um Not really. I mean, I don't know. I'm just talking shit, but it was. Sorry, I dropped my can down here, but it was seriously some bullshit. And I know there's some dudes out there that are feeling my thoughts because I witnessed it. I witnessed the arguments. They're getting into security, and they're sitting there like going back and forth, like, how the fuck, like, why can't we go to like this is general admission? And it was just like some bullshit. No, 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 we're too packed, too crowded. Well, and again, I just couldn't help but think that if you guys wanted to control that, you should have sold separate pick tickets. And
Hmm.
because you didn't, you can't. I just didn't think that was a legal move.
Well,
But
also, I'm wondering if maybe with all that, maybe they should even just change slightly like those steps and turn them into a ramp. Because I'm assuming that's why they don't want so many people of the possibility of someone tripping because it's so packed and not know the stairs are there or falling. And I feel like a ramp would kind of fix that issue to where you could
yeah,
have people on the ramp. You probably don't want people standing on the steps. A ramp would fix that because people could just stand on the ramp. Kind of like at the Blue Note, like it has a giant pit, and on the sides it ramps all the way up to the top. So you can just
right.
people can just stand on that ramp all day.
Hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I couldn't even tell you if it was ramped or stairs. I mean, it was. I didn't really pay that close attention to it, but it's just, I don't know. I felt like it was such an illegal move. But on their side, I can understand them wanting to control this. When you did look at that pit area, it was a holy shit moment. Like I've never seen that crammed into such a small confined space. Like it was pretty nuts. But again, if they wanted to prevent that, they should have sold separate pit tickets, in my
Yeah.
opinion. That or changed it to an arena because you can't house that many. You know what I mean? So, a bullshit moment there that I know a lot of people in that place would have sided with me on that shit, but whatever. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. So, anyways, aside from that, dude, absolutely badass metal show, and I mean, I can't imagine being someone that wouldn't have gone to that show.
Yeah. I did in the peak of my jealousy, I did look up all the set lists of all the bands that played that night. And I'm
Yeah,
wondering what was your thoughts on like those older songs that Cannibal played? Like I saw they played I Come Blood, Hammer Smash Face, Shook
yeah.
Raped and Strangled. How were those live for you?
They were awesome, dude. And Unleashing the Bloodthirsty, that's another one. It's an older one. It's on their Bloodthirst album. I'm not sure the
Okay.
year on that one, but again, dude, I went back to it, and like I said, that show inspired me to delve their discography. So I'm kind of going back to those songs, and I'm just like, they still hit so hard. They're still
Mm-hmm.
so good. Like it really makes me feel like I was in like such the wrong, like doing their discography rankings that we did. Like I think we're gonna have to do a Cannibal review here, in the next year or so, or whenever, because I just don't think that I did them due diligence for their catalog. I mean, it was just banger after banger. Now, that being said, like, yeah, I wasn't really as into the older ones as much as I am the newer ones, but, in our Cannibal ranking, I don't I don't know. I'm just more of a fan of modern Cannibal sound than I am the
Mm-hmm.
previous. Just because I think his patterning is a lot better than what it used to be. The songwriting in general just seems so well structured, man. And yeah, I don't know. So, but it was really cool to like for I Come Blood. I thought that it was like he's like, all right, we got another little song for you, and I guarantee everyone knows what this one's going to be about, or something to that effect. And he was just like, now I want everyone to tell me what this next song is about. And he just held the mic out, and like literally everyone's just like shooting blood out of your cock. I was like, seriously? Like everyone really like it was a crazy guess. Like it could have been smashing a face with a hammer or something like that. Like I really didn't know where it was going, but then I heard shooting blood out of your cock. I was like, oh, that's the intro for this song, I guess. So and then he's just like, this song is is so that was pretty cool. I mean, It was just they were an awesome band to see if you've never seen Cannibal before, like myself. So, um, dude, yeah, gotta see him again because man, it was so epic. Like, when did you see him? What year was it? And what album was
It
Violence Unimagined out at that time or no?
No, this was right before that guitarist went crazy and left the band. So this was
Oh,
right after Red Before Black came out. So they opened
oh,
with
okay.
Code of the Slashers.
Oh, that's cool.
But oh yeah, it was awesome, and I was kind of wondering if you kind of got the same vibe from Corpse Grinder because I almost feel like yeah, he really do a lot. He does a lot of headbanging. He doesn't talk very much, but I almost feel like sometimes he does give that aura, especially when he has the hair over his face, like a kind of like a serial killer stalker vibe, and I think he
Oh
pulls it
yeah.
off well.
He does, dude. Like, yeah, they would just like if he wasn't headbanging, that was like his position. And he's such a big guy. Like, whenever like they came, they all walked out onto the stage. It was just such a moment. Like, you could just tell like the crowd is just in awe of their presence, sheer presence, and very kind of intimidating sort of presence. And just, yeah, man, like their set made me feel like you're in a butcher shop, you're in
Hmm.
like the underground butcher shop. It was cool, man. It was really cool. Really fucking awesome. And that song Blood Blind, dude. I mean, my God. It is just like hearing that heaviness live. Oh my gosh. So good. I mean, I won't be surprised if that song makes my top 5 songs listened to of the year this year because I've already like jammed it so many times. It's pretty ridiculous, but super fun time, man. Super fun time. If that was a 2-night show in the same city, same venue, I would have bought 2 tickets. It was
What if it
that
was the
good.
same set,
Yeah.
even if they promised two unique sets?
I how I don't know. I might change my mind then, but I don't know. I think it was so good because also when I seen Meshuggah in 2016 or whenever it was around that time. I peeked their set list before going to the show, and it was cool, kind of knowing what was coming. But I think the stronger um, reaction to the set is not knowing what's coming,
Hmm.
and for those reasons, I feel like I loved this show that much more. I
Oh
loved it
yeah.
so much more rather than peeping it beforehand because I just felt like it's like a cheat code,
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's cool to know like this. I really like the surprise factor of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do that all the time of looking up set lists and then going to shows, but like you said, it's such a better feeling when they you don't know and they play a song you love and weren't expecting them to play, and it's just the
Yeah,
best feeling in the world, just pure excitement.
absolutely, dude. And like Meshuggah, I had a feeling they were going to open with Broken Cog, and they've ridden that one as an intro to their set for the last couple of years now. That's the first song on their last album, Immutable, and so it just kind of fits that position really. It's a great intro song, but they went from that right into Rational Gaze, which is just epic. And so whenever Rational Gaze kicks in, I was just like, "Oh shit!" I was taken by surprise, but it's like, duh, like this is one of their top 10 songs for sure, if not top 3. But yeah, man, like, I don't know, I can't say enough about it. It was absolutely just badass set. I bought 2 Meshuggah shirts, one for Lex, one for me. Um, just because they had some really badass merch. Man, Cannibal had some badass merch too. Like I really, in order to thoroughly enjoy myself, I should have brought $200 just for merch because Cannibal had some badass shirts, man. Um, but God, I'm such a Meshuggah diehard, so I bought a tour shirt for the first time in a long time. I don't remember the last tour shirt that I ever bought was before this one. So, um, but I'm kind of getting older, so I feel like that kind of fits the older person criteria. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm just talking shit, but no, it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
I
Really cool.
gotcha. Oh, anything else you did the past 2 weeks?
Um, that definitely takes the highlight, man. Other than that, we're out of frost. I don't know for your zone, but the old man in me is getting super pumped about spring. I made a 10 or like $15 donation to Arbor Day Foundation, like back in January, and they're like, "Oh, 10 free plants with your donation or whatever." And for like a month and a half, I was just like, "Okay, yeah, I guess that was a ripoff," because I never got them in the mail. I was like, "What the fuck," you know? But then, like, I read that they send them whenever it's good for your area to be planted,
Hmm.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I just got that package like 2 days ago, and like went crazy and just planted them all in my yard. But a lot of them were trees, so I had to like really kind of think about it, because I'm anal as shit when it comes to the security of our home and in its structural integrity. So, whenever we towards when we first moved in, any spring that came, I would look out the windows and just see puddles of water surrounding the house. I'm like, oh my god, we don't have good drainage. Or I'd freak out about the drainage, but we were accumulating water in our crawl space for the longest time, and so it was just really freaking me out that like mold was going to grow in our walls and shit, and I don't know, just got really paranoid. So, anyways, I excavated like the side of our house one year and found sycamore roots, like giant sycamore roots, like that big, just invading the foundation, like splitting the header from the footing of like the foundation, which is the base of it. And so it was
Hmm.
literally three sections of that. One side of the house had those sycamore roots, cut those bitches out, um, sealed up that footing and filled it with rock, installed drain tile on that side of the house, chopped that fucking sycamore tree down. It was an old mature tree, beautiful tree, but they planted it way too close to the house. So that year I became really aware of like invasive roots and shit like that. And so anyways, getting these trees, I had to really be meticulous about the location of where I planted them and whatnot. And kind of had excess, so I gave the neighbor some. But anyways, I'm getting giddy about that. Um, I love this time of year. Excited to get the garden going. If I can get my fucking truck back from the
That's
shop.
still a thing.
Oh my god, it's still a thing, dude. Yeah. Like I called last week and she was like, I was like, hey, what's the status on my truck? And I've done this like the last 2 weeks. They're like, oh, it'll be done next week. Okay. Well, last week I called. Oh, they ordered the wrong bumper. It's a style side or flare side bed on a '99 Ford Ranger. So what that means is it's got like the dip ins on the bed and it goes around the wheels hub.
Hmm.
I don't know. It style side's what it's called. And so anyways, those are more of a rarity than what's the traditional straight flatbed side, fleet side. And so yeah, they ordered the wrong bumper and I did the same thing before I even took it to the shop, trying to just repair it on my own, and I returned it. And then I did some Google searching, and style side bumpers are rare as shit because the style sides are just rare. I don't know if they didn't make as many as they did fleet sides, but I'm pretty sure it's only 2 years, the 99 and 98 or something like that, that have those specific bumpers of that size. And so I can find them online, but they're in a salvage yard in Florida, and they may only be listed as $100, but then they want $350 for shipping. So I never got one. But whenever I took it to the shop, I told them, I was like, hey, it's going to take a certain size bumper to replace this one. I was like, I've already tried to order online, and it's a bitch to find. I haven't had luck, but maybe you guys will have better luck than me. They're like, oh yeah, yeah. No, we'll get it. It'll be fine. If it's a part on a 4 week, okay, cool. Well, yeah, here we go. 3 weeks later, still sitting at the same shop. I call last week. Oh, they ordered the wrong bumper. It's like, okay, so it's going to be next week. She's like, oh, yeah, we're supposed to get it Monday. I was like, okay, so I can expect to come and pick it up Monday? Yep, it'll be done Monday. All right, great. Well, Monday came and went, no call. Tuesday came and or no, today's Tuesday. Sorry. Tuesdays came and almost went fully, and yeah, no call about a bumper, or my truck being done. So yeah, still a thing. Um, but I'm just hoping that They do it right, I don't want to be that guy and piss him off, and then they, put the rusty one back on or rusty bolts back, and they're like, "Fuck this guy," yeah, whatever. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
but at the
So,
same time, if they've taken that long,
right, yeah, true.
and if
I
they're
don't
they're
know,
probably not going to charge regular prices if they did it in a day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to be the nice guy. Maybe I'm being too nice, but I don't know. I'm just crossing my fingers they do a good job. It sounds to me like they've repainted the whole thing because I talked to him like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, "Yeah, the top of that was a lot worse than I thought, and or the top of your hood." And so we got it primed and everything, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I don't remember ever telling him that I wanted the top of my hood painted or repainted or anything. So so
Okay,
I don't
then
know.
maybe I would maybe be fine if they charge full price. Like, yeah, do that extra stuff. That's fine. I'm not paying for it, but
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, yeah. Hopefully it's not like an extra 2 grand more of what I'm thinking that it's going to be. But at this point, I'm just excited to get a fucking truck back, a running truck, because yeah, I'm getting giddy about the spring. I'm really needing to haul some soil and some landscaping border and just old man shit. But
yeah.
yeah. Anyways, that's my couple weeks. How is your break from potting been?
Still super busy. We're still on AT. However, we are officially done this Sunday, so it's getting there. But it's just been a lot of business. I'm kind of glad you canceled last week because it was just thing after thing after thing. Last Tuesday was the cackle hatchery where we all that's where we buy all our chicks and ducks.
Oh,
They
okay.
they put them
Oh
all in a
yeah.
truck and brought them to Aurora, which is right next to us. So Danny went and bought about 8 chicks and 4 ducks. So as soon as I got home, I had to build brooders. And then I did. We have chicks and ducks, but we've never gotten the same time. And I realized you can't really have baby chicks and baby ducks in the same brooder at the same time because the ducks will essentially
Fuck
bully
them
the
up.
chicks. Yeah. So I had to separate them, build a separate brooder. And that was about 8:30 when I'm done with everything. And then I got your text like, "Oh, thank God. I just want to,"
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah, dude.
it's been brutal. Even today we did our PT test, which wouldn't have been, it'd be like, yeah, it's a little sore, whatever. But then after that, like, so we got done with the PT test at 11, but then at 2 o'clock we had to go run a 5K for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So I ran 5 miles
Wow.
today. So
Jeez.
fun times. And then tomorrow I got voluntold to kind of lead a Commanders Cup team because we didn't have enough teams to compete to like make it an actual competitive thing. So I had to just volunteer 4 other people like, hey, you're doing this. I don't want to. Well, you gotta. And then yeah, that's tomorrow,
Damn.
and I have to do sprint
Oh
drag carry
shit.
again. So more
Oh
physical stuff
man.
tomorrow.
That's sounds
But
awesome.
oh yeah, it's a blast. I love this. But yeah, it's
Damn.
almost done. Almost done. Last day's Sunday, and then a regular full week of work, but they usually let us have at least one past day of our choosing for like a free day off. So I'll take that at some
Jeez.
point and then add another paid leave day either before or after that one, depending on what day I choose. But other than that, yeah, just been listening to a lot of music. Chicken Coop is coming together. More issues, finding out I didn't buy enough wood screws because I'm almost done. I have the structure, the frame all built up. And I flipped it over to where I'm going to put the last two thing of woods together to like fully connect it to like a cube. But I found out I only have 4 wood screws left,
Oh
and that's
shit.
obviously not enough. So, but it's a standing structure now. I just need to go get wood screws at some point, put the 2 wood things in there, put the things to connectors. And it's full square. I can just then screw the metal on top. Bada bing, bada boom. Got a chicken coop again. So that'll be nice. We
Nice.
did.
Now,
What's up?
oh, just because, do you have any remaining previous family members of ducks and chicks to join this new
Yeah,
squad?
they've stuck around. They like to hang out in either the garage or the back porch, and there's also like a under part of the porch, or there's this like shrubbery and trees that they like to hang out that's over by a fence, so they'll stand on the fence under the shade, or they'll get in the tree. They
Man,
don't leave. They like
you're gonna
us.
be like a full-time farmer.
Oh yeah, I love
That's
it.
good.
I love the
You're,
chickens. The ducks are okay.
that's cool.
Yeah, the chickens are
Yeah,
fun.
I imagine the ducks are more just fun to look at,
When I see them, because so there's a pond like half a mile down this hill, like I can see it, but
Uh-huh.
ducks love water. They have to like at least submerge their nose in water to like clean out their nose holes at least once a day. So they'll spend pretty much all day down at the pond, and sometimes I'll forget we have ducks. Uh,
Shit.
but they still
Yeah,
come up. We'll eat. But chickens are a lot of fun. I love the chickens because they'll
yeah,
actually they've got more friendly. They let me pick them up from time to time. So I mean I love
that's
the
cool.
chickens. They're easy.
Do you have any roosters?
I'm hoping one of the eight because there's a specific breed I asked for. Because you can either buy there's certain types of chickens you can either get as female or there's other breeds where you can only get them as what's called straight run, which is they don't know what they are, just pick them. So I got one specific
Oh, wow.
breed, hoping it's a rooster. It's the standard Phoenix golden duckwing, and it's a beautiful looking rooster. You can enter in like chicken shows and stuff, but if I have a rooster, I want a pretty rooster. I want
Yeah.
I want to show one's like that's him. That's the one with all these hens.
Are you going to be a rooster showman? Do you
We'll
see
see
this
how
in your
pretty this
future?
one is. I don't know. I've never seen one. We'll see.
Yeah, nice. I don't know if you fancy the state fair or anything like that, but I know they do a lot of that shit where people just
Yeah.
come and bring their cocks for
hmm
display.
There's a cock farm not too far from here. So like I don't know if you're driven by one of those houses where there's like a bunch of blue barrels upside down with like a hole cut on the side of it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Those are
Um,
show chickens or show
okay.
roosters. But obviously you can't have
I
a bunch of roosters next to each other. They're just all going to kill each other. So that's their home, and they'll have a rope or something to their leg so they don't go and kill the other roosters.
Yeah, see, like I always see those, and I'm just like, oh, that's a cockfighting. That that
I have heard
that dude
people say that.
gets into cockfighting. You know, I don't,
No,
I don't, I don't know if there's a difference or if that is like an early onset thing to just have a bunch of those cocks in your yard before you
it
become a
is a
cockfighter.
it is a good cover because I have seen those, but I did see someone selling on. I'm in a backyard chicken Facebook group, and he's selling a couple of his game cocks for like shows and stuff, and there's some of them are still on the barrel or in the barrel. So, I mean, I think some are legit, but I do think some just like, oh yeah, this is my, show chicken, but really they're cockfighting.
Huh. I wonder what the gateway is to that. Like if there's a secret code that they do in those chicken groups on Facebook, maybe.
I don't know.
Like,
Well,
hey, who's
you ever
who's
get
going to
two
the
cocks
fights
rubbing
tonight?
up against each other?
Yeah. Cock face off tonight at my house.
It's a cock
Backyard per
off.
usual. Cock off. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Other than that, yeah, just chicken stuff, work. It's been a bit, but it's been busy. But yeah.
Yeah. That's
Um,
cool, man.
I did check out before we get into new music. I did check out a band you've been talking about
Oh.
recently more and more. Um, and I keep forgetting the name of the band until got on Indie Merch and they had like this banner for like their upcoming album. I was like, oh, that's that band Silas is always talking about. Larcinia Row.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I finally checked them out, and damn, that is
Yeah, what do you think, man? 'Cause they're an interesting one to me.
yeah, that's a good kind of dark, grimy, almost like
Yeah.
slammy death. I don't know how to explain it, but like extreme deathcore. I don't know what you would even call it.
definitely extreme something. I mean, when I listen to them, that's what it sounds like. It does. It sounds like very. I mean, it sounds structured, but it sounds like they're just trying to do the most ridiculous, insane shit possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they really don't sound close to human at all. But yeah, I don't know. They seem to be catching a lot of buzz, and it's one of those things. Like I don't have their songs on repeat by any means, but they do catch enough of my interest that I'll go check out a music video or something like that. And um, yeah, hearing their stuff, I mean, it sounds complex. It sounds interesting as hell. So I don't know. I don't know what's to come of them, but like I said, they seem to be gaining buzz, and it's like them along with that disembodied tyrant dude. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of in the same vein, just wacky chaos, deathcore type shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's interesting right now to me.
I gotcha. Are you ready for some new releases?
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly
Playlist.
Weekly Playlist. Weekly
Yeah, I think so, man.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
So we do have two playlists. So with that, I think we should probably also kind of maybe do a pick for each week because I do have separate picks for each week. Do you have a so on this March 28th playlist, do you have a favorite album?
I don't think so, man. So you asked me if I was able to access the playlist and everything. I was like, yeah, it looks good. And but then like I go back into it, and for some reason, both the last 2 weeks playlists, um, it didn't let me like save them to my library for some reason. So I didn't jam them a whole lot. But I'll pop this 28th one open just to see if there was anything that I stuck to. Okay, so this was Deaf Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I had a pick, it would be this one. Again, I didn't listen to this playlist a lot, but I did just listen to this album tonight to get the gist of this, and I liked it, man. I mean, it sounds like good old Deaf Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I prefer this album over the last one. What was the last one?
That was at Infinite Granite. That's where things were a lot softer.
Oh,
And
okay.
then before that was Corrupt Ordinary Human Love, which was kind of somewhere between the Infinite Granite and New Bermuda.
Okay. The last time I really jammed this band was New Bermuda. And I want to say that I think this one's definitely on par with that, if not better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I really liked it, man. I mean, it gave me um, I don't know that it's quite Sungazer for me, or Sunbather. But yeah, dude, I thought it was really cool. What was your favorite?
My favorite was also this new album, Lonely People with Power by Deaf Heaven. I really love this album. Because I do think like listening to it, the beginning, it is very much more black metal than they've ever kind of gone. Like there still is a little bit of that shoegaze, post rock stuff that they do every now and then, but not as much as it was in like New Bermuda or Sunbather. It feels still very black metal heavy. And
Hmm.
like songs like what is it? Doberman, Magnolia, Heathen, like very black metalish, but it's until about Amethyst it kind of switches. But and I kind of do like these incidental tracks they have in here, which are kind of like their transition instrumentals, kind of like they did in Sunbather. But I feel like I kind of appreciate these ones more. I didn't really like the transition tracks in Sunbather. I felt like they were a little just kind of filler tracks until I can get to the next meat of the album. Um,
Hmm.
but for me, the part of this album that I love so much is these last two tracks, and that is Winona. I love this song. It has such a it's a new song. It still feels fresh, but still so nostalgic for Death Heaven because it also feels like the riff is part of the riff from Sunbather, and it feels just like Sunbather, like a hey, we know you miss it, here you go. but we're just gonna build on and expand on it. It was a moment of pure bliss of listening to that song. It was
Oh yeah.
just a best feeling ever. So this is even on both playlists for the 2 weeks. This is still probably the best album for me. And even the last track, the Marvelous Orange Tree, which I also feel like is kind of name wise, I feel like is kind of a throwback to the Pecan Tree. So again, back to Sunbather. Um,
Hmm.
awesome song. I love this album. Yeah, that's also my pick for this week.
That's cool, man. Hell yeah.
Um, this playlist also has a couple other albums. Some I wasn't too interested. I did check out the new album by Arch Enemy Blood Dynasty, but didn't stick with it because not really into Arch Enemy, and I feel like this is kind of even in that I feel like this is kind of their weaker. The vocals feel very buried a little bit. Like I feel like she has a much more powerful voice in this, but it doesn't sound like it in this album. So that was
Hmm.
kind of meh for me. Do you listen to that one at all?
I did not. I mean, I think I may have sampled one of the songs, but I've never been a crazy Arch Enemy fan, even with the previous singer. I maybe was into a couple tracks, but yeah, I this one just didn't catch me. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Then we
sorry,
also
Arch
have
Enemy.
this new Under Oath album, the place after this one. And I used to love Under Oath, but since they've been back, they've kind of been meh. And I feel like
Hmm.
this one, they've kind of gone back to a little bit more heaviness, but it still feels a little too chaotic and not like the good kind of chaotic. Feels almost kind of like cut and paste with sections. But there is kind of a highlight in this album. They have the song Vultures featuring Troy Sanders from Mastodon,
Hmm.
which was pairing I never thought what I'd see happen, but they do it, and even the riff is kind of a little Mastodonish. Um,
Huh.
but his part, like it's good, but I don't feel like if you have Troy Sanders in a track on Under Oath, you should probably have him maybe even just do the whole chorus. Like he should have more of
Yeah.
a say in this song, but um that's it for those albums. There are two other albums I really liked though. Um Body Box with their album 3. This um is kind of like this somewhere between like slam, deathcore, and beatdown. This is fun.
Nice.
You can just tell by the title track, the title of the tracks, like opening track is one word, real cocaine music. Um, you got a track Skimpin' Fucking Idiots featuring Snuffed on Sight. Uh,
Nice.
another song, it's actually a pretty good song, but the title is Scratch Offs and Hookers. This is a fun album if you just want some ignorant,
Hell yeah.
uh, fun shit, and that is Body Box's album 3. Did you listen to this one?
I did not, man, but I think I'm gonna have to with those titles. That sounds right up my alley. That's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, this is a fun album.
I like the name. I like Body
Body
Box a
Box.
lot more than Spirit Box. Yeah.
Yeah, almost. I feel like that's just kind of like Coffin, isn't it?
I'm guessing, yeah. I mean, Body Box, it just sounds kind of like a, yeah, lifeless sort of vibe.
Yeah, just a kind of like Casket, but just more alliteration.
Right. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, I'll check that out.
And the last album on this playlist is the band Nothing, but not the one that does shoegaze. This is more of just a regular
Oh, okay.
death metal band. Kind of smaller. Their new album's The Self Repair Manifesto. This is actually pretty fun listen to. It's newer death metal, still has kind of that old vibe, but with some technicality kind of thrown in there. Pretty fun listen to. Uh, even though it's that kind of that old feeling that you might feel like I've listened to this thousands of times before, they still find a way to keep it fresh. So I
Cool.
recommend this one. Top tracks probably be Subterfuge or the title track the Self Repair Manifesto. Did you check this one out?
I did not. I'll
I
have to
gotcha.
jam that too.
I gotcha. That's it for that week. Let's move on to the most recent one, April 4th. Do you have a top album from this week?
Um, No, I pretty much failed on this one too. I'm sorry.
I gotcha. Well, I can
Apologize.
I didn't listen to the full albums, but there's a lot out. I did check out a little bit of everything. We got some new singles on here. We got Necrotic featuring Sven from Aborted with the song
Mm,
Deuce X.
I did listen to
Uh
this. That
yeah,
is cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very aborted feeling too. I almost feel like Sven almost kind of like
Yeah.
takes over
Just
the whole thing.
wrote over the whole thing. Yeah. Well, it says aborted and coffin feeder. So I'm thinking there's a couple members that are like, because coffin feeder it's Sven. It's his side project. So I'm guessing there's a guitarist or something from there that's also playing on
I
this track.
gotcha.
But
I can see that.
mhm.
Yeah, that was a fun album. If you love Aborted, you'll love this as well. It's awesome. I don't know, assume it looks like it's a build up to Necrotid's new album, so that'll be something we'll have to check out down the road. Um, Other singles, we got this new song from Machine Head, Bone Scraper. Did you check this one out?
I listened to the like 15-second sample that Spotify lets you listen to. And I was like, "What? That's Machine Head?" I don't know. I've never
It's
been a
them
Machine Head
now.
fan, but I was very caught off guard by that one.
So I actually got started listening to a little bit of older Machine Head, and I can see why they kind of have a following, but it feels like they might, especially listening to this track, it almost feels like they maybe should, maybe call it quits because that doesn't sound like Phil's voice is as powerful as it used to be. Even when he screams, it feels tired. And his singing, I do not like his singing, and especially the lyrics on this one feel a little cheesy. So I was not a big fan of the song Bone Scraper. Um, yeah.
And that O is a zero.
Yeah, they did that on the previous album too, so I don't know why they're keeping that going.
Oh, that's weird.
But yeah,
Bone zero, bone zero, own scraper,
up next on
zero own
singles,
scraper.
up next on singles we
Sorry.
have Candlemass, the legendary doom metal band, with their new single Black Star. I'm not too into Candlemass, but I did enjoy this one. This was it's typical 80s older doom to where there's a lot of slow open parts, very very pretty clean singing. Then the kind of like with Pentagram, the big heavy riff kind of kicks in. So
Nice.
I did enjoy this. This was a good track. Black Star by Candlemass. Check it out. Did you listen to this one?
I
If
did
not,
not.
I recommend it.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
I'll have to check it out. I remember listening to this band in high school, and I don't know if we caught some like older Candlemass songs, but they were definitely in my rotation back then. But I haven't touched base since. But I remember digging their sound, man, back in the day. So
I gotcha. Continuing on with singles, we got the new single from the underground, kind of coming more to the mainstream, blackened punk band Midnight with their new
mm,
single Cleveland Metal. This was a lot of fun. I've kind of forgotten about Midnight. In fact, I even missed that they released an album last year. Listen to it; it's awesome. Midnight's a fun band if you like black, if you want to get listen to some black metal, but you don't like it's the super gratiness. This is more of a punk vibe. It's more of a I don't know. It's just more fun, and Midnight kind of brings that. And especially this track, it's more. It is evil sounding, but it still has like a party vibe to it, which I kind of enjoy. Whether or not he's trying to make it
that's
sound
cool.
partyish, it sounds fun and upbeat. I would even kind of put it akin to Hell Butcher album we kind of listened to last year, kind of like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So yeah, this is Cleveland metal. From what I understand, it's kind of building up to a new album. I did hear someone say it's a covers album, so I don't know if this is a cover song, but either way, it's a great song. They're from Cleveland, so I could see it going either way, but very enjoyable.
Nice.
Then we got Severely Lifeless by Inhuman Condition. Awesome. I also heard this band is a super group. I didn't look into it, so I don't know who's in it. But This is an awesome band. They have that kind of old school death metal style, but they do it so well to where you barely even notice like the kind of necro vibe they have. Uh, that's Severely Lifeless. Looks like it's building up to a new album. Inhuman Condition is awesome. Check it out. All right.
Hell yeah.
Full albums. It's my pick. I'm probably going to pick this band, Benediction, uh, with their new album, Ravage of Empires. This is an old British death metal band. This, and I looked into it. Apparently, this is where this band's original lead singer was Barney Greenway, who we all know as the lead singer of
Oh,
Napalm Death. And
okay.
if you listen to Harmony of Corruption, which is Barney's first album with Napalm Death, it's very similar to what Benediction kind of sounds now vocal wise. But I'm very surprised with this album because it sounds very good, even more melodic than I was even expecting. Kind of, it's still death metal, but it's kind of teetering closer and closer to the melodicness or melodic death metal. But I very much enjoyed it. Top songs probably Carry On Harvest, Jenison Chamber. This was a very good, surprising album. Check out Benediction's Ravage of Empires.
Oh yeah. I think I sampled this one as well and really liked what I heard, but man, I would not have guessed that that's Napalm Death's, that's the vocalist. This is his
That's
other
his
band,
old
or
band. He started this band.
okay.
He left the band to start Napalm or
Oh,
to join Napalm Death. Even
okay.
though they have a new singer after him, this vocalist sounds exactly like Barney did on that first album he did with Napalm. That very
Okay.
kind of style he did in that album.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Um,
That's tight.
I do have a close second. But looking into this band's history, it's gonna be a little weird. But let me just break it down this band for you.
Okay.
This is a band called Messiah Paratroops, and this is their debut album, Legions of Tomorrow. This is a fun band. It's somewhere between like Jungle Rot and Morbid Angel's later career. I really enjoyed this. Um, Better vocals than Jungle Rot. Very fun. Top songs I'd say would probably be the Messiah Paratroops song, Out of Reality, Morbid Prayer, Repulsion. This is a fun listen to. Doing a little bit deep diving. So this band is from Finland. So this is their debut album, right?
Hmm.
This band started in 1989.
Oh my gosh.
So
Whoa.
some things happen in
Took some
between
time
now
off.
and then. Um, so they released
Jeez.
this slur of demos in the early 90s. Then they changed their name to Eon or Aeon, but not the
Oh.
Aeon we know,
Oh. Okay.
not the big one that we know. Just an
Wow. Okay.
Aeon. They released an EP with that. Then at some point, no one really seems to know. They switched it back to Messiah Paratroops in like the tens. And yeah, now 2025, 36 years later, they released their debut, and that's
Jeez.
Legions of Tomorrow. Don't give up on your
Oh.
dreams. You can
Yeah, no
do it.
shit.
But yeah, this is it still hasn't. You can tell it's like older people are making this that have like appreciation for the older style, but it still is a good listen to. I recommend people check out this Messiah Paratroops album with their debut, 36 years in the making, Legions of Tomorrow.
It was crazy.
Um, Other ones we got Alagion's debut or not debut, new album, The Ossuary Lens. This was good. I did enjoy it. I'm not super into Age of Legion. Check them out from time to time. This was a fun album. Top songs for me would probably be Driftwood, The Swarm, Desiree. Uh, it's good. I actually don't even mind the clean vocals that they do in this. I think they do kind of fit well. Good technical, borderline progressive death metal. Yeah, check out All Egaon as we talked about last time.
Allegian.
Yeah. Then we got Bleed with From Within's Zenith, which took some time until I finally did start enjoying it, and I started enjoying about the third or fourth track with Zenith. It's metalcore, uh, kind of in the same vein of like Unearth or Darkest Hour, kind of like that
Okay.
melodic kind of style. Um, but you know what? There are some good parts in here. Like on God Complex, I think it's God Complex. There's this part where it has such a beautiful pinch harmonic. It reminds me of that pinch harmonic in this call at the end of This Calling by All That Remains.
Oh,
That one all of a
yeah.
sudden at the end. A Hope in Hell, and then they also have the song Immortal Desire featuring from Mastodon again, Bran Daler this time. And
Oh, wow.
he sings the
Interesting.
chorus. See, Under Oath, if you have a Mastodon member, you have him sing the chorus. He does a great job in it. Um,
Nice.
Even by the second time he's in there, I start singing along. So this one caught me by surprise. Check out Belief from Within Zenith.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this album. They kind of seem like a metalcore on steroids,
Hmm.
like sort of vibe.
Yeah, I think we did a couple of their tracks leading up to this, but I don't
I
remember
think
how I
so.
felt about them.
Yeah, same. I didn't jam this album yet, but I probably will just from how much I've been hearing about it.
Hmm.
Seems like it's catching a ton of buzz, but
Yeah.
yeah, I still got to delve into it.
Then we got this band because I keep hearing the name and I thought they were gonna be like extreme metal. They're not. It's more of like a dark rock. This is a band called Pigs, 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 Pigs. Literally just the word pigs 7 times. Their new album Death Hilarious. It's kind of a dark rock, almost like grungish a little bit. It's
Huh.
not bad. It's just not something I'm into. I was surprised they did have a track featuring LP from Run the Jewels.
Oh, whoa. That is weird.
Do it, and it's not like he's singing. No, he's full on just doing LP rappings.
Wow.
Just on the track. I mean,
Huh.
I don't mind it. I
Okay.
like LP, but and then lastly we got
Glib
this.
glib-tongued.
Yeah, yeah. That as soon as I saw LP, I was like, surely that's not the LP.
Yeah.
So I played it, and I was at the gym, and then it's like, okay, I don't know what this band is. And then all of a sudden I hear hit that distinct voice and that distinct rhyme. It's like, oh, it is LP.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't miss that, dude. That's crazy.
Then lastly we have Habak with I'm gonna butcher this so bad, but Mil Orquídeas and Medio del Desierto. Um,
I guarantee you got that right.
100%. This is an interesting band. It's I don't know how to describe this. Kind of like crust punky a little bit, very doomish a little. I want borderline doom. It's interesting. I would say
Hmm.
almost the black gaze, but without the black and not really much. If you That was dumb. I was gonna say without black metal
Just
or
gaze.
shoegaze, but it's just a
Just
thing.
gaze.
But I
Are
don't know.
they
It's a
American,
vibe.
I take it?
I don't know. I think they're from South America somewhere or LA.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's an interesting listen to. It's very post metally. Um, I would say a little bit doom influences and crust punk. This is an interesting listen to. It feels more like an experience than actual just like an album just to listen to. This is something that
Mm,
you want to sit down and fully appreciate everything that's going on. It's very drawn out. I I I would want to go back to this one. That's this new album by Habak, Mil Acordardias and Medio del Desierto.
you got
Check
to
it
add some
out.
accent to it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not doing that again. It's a whole sentence.
Mil orquídeas en medio del desierto. That
Perfect.
kind of turned French. I think I turned French in there. It might be French. I don't know. No,
I
it's
think
definitely
it's
Spanish, huh?
Yeah, it's Spanish, like the
Yeah.
en la de patastad
Yeah.
and the yeah, because in French they don't use the just the y for a word, like the
Hey,
Ellen Casian y del Rio.
Digemos Habler al Viento.
Manual de un naufragia. Yeah, but that's it for the new releases.
Oh
Pew
yeah,
pew 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 pew. Yeah, check them out.
sweet.
Oh, there was something I just listened to it today, and I think it just got released today. Did
Oh,
you happen to listen to the new Behemoth song,
oh no, I didn't know a new one dropped.
Luciferian?
Oh, oh, interesting. Is it? And what's your thoughts?
So, out of the two singles they had released before, The Shit of God and The Shadow Elite, this song sounds more like The Shadow Elite. It
Oh, that's
is,
good.
and it's getting me more excited for this new Behemoth album. I feel like they should have never released the song "Shit of God." That should have just been just some random track on the album. Because the
Yeah,
other two songs are kind of getting me excited. It's not,
that's cool.
I wouldn't say it's as good as Shadow Elite, but it does have more of the. It feels like they're going back to more guitar driven Behemoth, which
Like
is what,
riffy.
yeah. So I
That's cool.
appreciate that more, and it's not full on like demigod era or anything like that, but it is
Mhm.
getting closer to that direction, kind of peeling away from the basing a whole album on a vibe and orchestra. So I
Right.
liked this song a lot more.
That's cool. Yeah, they just got crazy on those like the chordy kind of, drawn out
Hmm.
type type shit. I don't know how else to really describe it, but
Yeah, I felt like they got the taste of that success with like their "Come to Me." What's
oh,
that song?
Bartzabel.
Yeah, Bartzabel and like everything from Satanist, and then I Loved You at Your Darkest. I feel like they got a taste for so much success from that. They just want to keep it going. But now that that cow has been milked dry, so we kind of maybe should go back and what we want from you guys. And I
Yeah,
feel like
dude.
he's kind of figuring that out.
Yeah, man. I miss that technicality. Like that's what the Behemoth was just fucking grandmasters of.
Hmm.
Inferno on the drums, dude. One of the best metal drummers of all time. And he's kind of um usually like the drumming parts really stick out to me like but like the last couple albums of theirs even with Inferno it's just kind of like dull. I mean, I get
Yeah,
it, he's getting older, he probably doesn't want to write ridiculous shit he can't play forever, but I don't know, I think it's fair to say that uh people miss the techie Behemoth, man, the riffy shit.
yeah. I really just kind of miss the more raw stuff that they used to do. I felt like even with like the Zos Kia whatever that one was, and then even
Mm,
Apostasy. I kind of
yeah,
do just miss, and I miss the whole because I don't feel like they do this at all anymore. More of like the ancient civilization, religion kind of stuff, or even just that vibe
yeah.
and feel. I miss that. That's what I really love that feel and texture of their older music.
Yeah, they've kind of gone like total modern,
Mm-hmm.
like religious theme, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of miss that as well.
Yeah. Um, I have a little bit of metal news. You want to talk about some metal news stuff?
Yeah, yeah, dude, let's do it. I got a couple topics.
Metal news.
Pew pew
Not
pew. We
topics, but
got
points.
metal news. A big thing I wanted to just kind of throw out there. This is a quick metal news, but it was announced on April Fool's Day, so obviously we're all gonna like, is this real? But Mastodon has announced a non-tour one date show in St. Louis with All Shall Perish and Dead Heat, and I am
Wow.
excited.
I didn't realize that was a non-tour show. That's just a one-off.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a because it's literally just that's the one show. I don't know if it's like an off
Huh.
date with like their periphery because I haven't seen the dates based off that. But they just
Oh,
said like,
okay.
yeah, we we're not going to not show love to St. Louis, so they decided to add that they decided to just do this show, and that's just the one show that they announced with All Shall Perish and Dead Heat. So hell yeah, and it's at I want to say is that the factory or the pageant? I can't remember.
I think I seen the factory.
Okay, what kind of
I've
venue
never
is
been
that
there
one?
though. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been there. I've only been to the pageant.
Because I feel like it would have to be bigger than the pageant because I feel like Mastodon's almost too big for the pageant because they're on a arena tour right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I imagine it's got to be pretty big. But yeah, I'm not sure. And I don't know. I also like I got a buddy Dan. He's real excited about that one too. And I told him I'd go, but I'm honestly not that crazy about it. Like I've never been an All Shall Perish fan.
Neither
I
have I.
never really was, but
I'm just excited to see Mastodon again, and especially with
mm,
if they picked those two bands as their openers, I feel like they're going to lean more towards on their heavy music side.
give me
So I'd
set.
be
Yeah, that
more
would be
excited
cool.
about that.
Yeah, that would be cool. But
Yeah. You said you had some metal news.
yeah, metal news. I think it's worthy to talk about. So I sent you a post, and I said scary but interesting. And this is the acacia strain, and they posted this. I don't know how many days ago. Oh, it tells me right here when I sent it to you. But damn it.
I think I
Oh,
know what
April
I remember what
2nd.
you're talking about.
Yeah, and it says making the record we want, not the record people expect us to. What does that statement tell you? Coming from the acacia strain.
I feel like they're going to experiment more. Like they've already kind of been doing that a little bit. So I almost
That's what
wonder.
like that statement almost means nothing to me coming from this band. But it almost scares me because I'm like, well, shit, I thought you guys were always doing that. But I've seen some comments, and basically the people are just like, "Oh, so it's going to be another banger," or they're like, "Oh, so you guys are doing It Comes in Waves again." And both responses, I'm like, hands down, yeah, I'm going to be all for it. I mean, I don't know. I'm a little nervous, but then again, I'm just like, dude, it's the acacia strain. Like, where can they go wrong? I
Hmm.
just don't really see them going back to like death is the only mortal at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I do wonder, but I feel like we've already know kind of like where they're coming from, like their interests, because they've already like we've talked about, they've already showed us their interest in like Doom and Stoner. And I feel
Hmm.
like even borderline getting close into grindcore territory with the previous album. I feel like we kind of know where they could come from. It's just depending on how far and which direction are they going to go with this next album.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I think that, they're getting older, obviously, and not that that really matters, but I just think that I don't really see them going more core
Hmm.
than Doom at this point. They've all obviously kind of taken a turn towards Doom, a pretty prominent one, with the last album having a whole um, the dual album being one side's a completely just 50-minute Doom ride, and the other's more core leaning, but still very kind of Doom heavy. I don't know. I don't really see him coming out with that like a crisp production kind
Hmm.
of corey deathcore, vibe. Um, but I don't know, dude. I just can't help but get so excited seeing that post from them
Hmm.
because I just fucking love that band. I really do. I love the lyrics. I like the writing in it. The songs, the writing in the songs, the structure, the riffs, drums, you name it. Every aspect of that band, I'm all for. So that got me super pumped, man. Very, very exciting.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that comes out. I could probably see maybe this fall. I could probably see that something like that because I feel like that would fit their typical release schedule. And I feel like they have enough time for recording in the spring for it to come in this fall. So that'd be exciting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say that yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're seeing pics of recording or writing. I imagine it's probably writing, but yeah, I think they probably still got time to record and all that shit before the end of the year. But I wouldn't be mad if it doesn't drop till next year, even. But yeah, man, excited regardless.
Hell yeah. Um, Similar release news. Epicardiectomy, the Slam legends are teasing new music as well. They announced that they're going to be playing some new songs on upcoming shows this year with a projected new album coming out next year. So get ready for some brutally disgusting slam from Epicardiectomy. Uh,
Hell yeah.
Other than
Oh,
that,
um, that sorry reminds me, different band. But man, I forgot new releases. I forgot to freaking announce this, but I was hooked until I went to my Cannibal Meshuggah show on one song. And I don't know if you listened to it as much as I did, but I went crazy on Facebook and sharing it with all my buddies because I was obsessed with it.
oh, I
Dissonant
know what you're talking
Seepage,
about. Yeah.
the Ancient Pestilence Reborn.
hmm
Holy shit, dude! Was this a mind blowing song to you?
it was I found it so odd by like how crisp and like technical everything was going. Then his vocals surprised the shit out of me of how low and like slow worm like it was in comparison to
Yeah,
everything else that was going on. I was like, oh damn.
yeah.
It
I
was a
just I
very fresh and interesting fit.
Yeah, dude, it's such a slow ride of a song, and it's almost just so simple, but like so damn catchy. Like that riff just fucking played in my head for days, dude. I mean days. Leading up to that Meshuggah Cannibal show, then I seen them live and it took over my Spotify. But before that, dude, I literally probably dedicated like 50 to 100 plays of that song to that band, man. And I shared the shit out of it, so definitely got to give that one a shout out. Yeah, late new release for me announcement, but Dissonant Seepage, Ancient Pestilence Reborn, go jam it. You will not be. I was going to say surprised, but you won't be disappointed. That's what I was looking for. Yes, it didn't make the playlist, but it's out. Go check it out if you like slam, heavy, slow, chuggy slam, deep, low, growly goodness. It's fantastic. Um, but other than that, the only other news that I had, oh, yeah, I sent you a couple things on Instagram. So we got a
Oh,
new Ghost album.
I don't really check. I don't get notifications from Instagram anymore.
Oh,
So if you
okay.
send them to me, I won't see them for a while. Just a second. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, the new Ghost. Is it Skeleton?
Yeah. Did we, they have a song out, I want to say. Did we do
Yeah,
that on the playlist
Satanized.
or no? Yeah,
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 we
that's right. Satanized. Yeah, we did.
yeah, new Ghost album. I want to say it's actually coming out pretty quickly. I think it's either this month or next month.
Yeah, April 25th, it looks like. So,
Man.
right around the corner. Yeah, that was quick. Album art, it's badass, dude. I actually
hmm
really love that album art. That looks super
Yeah.
cool.
Hopefully with this dark and like evil and darkness in in the title of the song and the cover album, hopefully we get a little bit more return to form with
Right.
Ghost. Like
Kind
more
of a
to like
heavier
the
edge.
yeah. Because I miss kind of
Yeah,
like
man.
that the evilness that because they've never been super heavy, but they still had a little bit of that um not for everyone vibe when it came to like their imagery and a little bit of the music. Um, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that's kind of been lacking with the past couple albums. So hopefully it kind of
Right.
bring thins the herd a little bit again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I can't help but get excited for that one when I check that out or look at that album art. Yeah, dude. I'm pretty excited for it. And then I also sent you this picture. This isn't metal news related, but I love this t-shirt. You're fond of me lobster, ain't ye?
From the lighthouse.
Oh, it's so good. Willem Dafoe's face of horror. You're fond of me lobster, ain't ye? Oh, damn, it's such a great shirt, man. Um, you can Google that if you want to, listeners, but fuck, it's a great shirt. I might just have to buy it. And I was looking for it in messages, but I don't think we shared it over messages. You might have tagged me in it, but Pentagram, they took
Ooh, that's right.
advantage of their epic viral moment and have made it a tour poster.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, hell yeah, man! I mean, might as well take advantage of that. But dude, yeah, absolutely. I might have to go check that out, dude.
Yeah, I've already
That's
talked to
right around the
Danny.
corner too.
Yeah, I've already talked to Danny. I even showed her the video, and she's like, "Yeah, you got to go," because they're coming right to
Nice.
Springfield's. Like, yeah, I gotta go see him. It's a small club. It's at the Regency. Be right
Yeah.
there. So to watch all his weird facial expressions.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I think that would be really cool, and I might have to join you on that. It looks like it's a Thursday. That's not terrible.
Hmm.
Yeah, Springfield. It looks like that date kicks off that tour actually. Or maybe that's just what I'm seeing because it's near me. But anyways, that gets me. Yeah, I don't think that kicks it off. But anyways, I think that would be cool as hell to see them, man. And I have a feeling like they're probably going to sell out a lot of shows, dude.
Yeah, especially with how viral they're going with their stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, they fucking blew up. I seen like they got so big that the Lego, like they made a video of it, but just like them as Legos. I was like, this is so stupid. But yeah, pretty cool. Cool for them, man.
I'm glad you mentioned the tagging because then I remembered another metal news I was wanting to bring up that I tagged you in, and that
Oh,
was
okay.
the newly announced upcoming album. I forget how many albums this is for this band, but they're kind of legends in their own right. And that is the new upcoming album by the band Heaven Shall Burn. Their new album
Mm,
called High Mat. This cover art is amazing, done by the legendary Ellerin Cantor,
hmm.
with the deer. Uh, just the album art alone gets me excited, and it's Heaven Shall Burn.
Yeah,
Excited.
it
So
is
that
pretty sick.
drops June 27th this year, it seems. And pre-orders start tomorrow.
Hell
So if
yeah.
you by the time this is out, hey, go pre-order this. You can go pre-order new Heaven Shall Burn album. You're
Yeah.
not going to
Did
regret it.
they uh did they drop a song with this or did they just announce the album?
I think they just announced the album because I haven't seen anything on my release radar for them. And I've
Okay.
this announcement got me excited that I started listening to them again, especially that Vito album that I love.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that, and I have not listened to this band in years, man. I don't even remember. Zeitgeist might have been the last album that I listened to of theirs,
Hmm.
if I'm remembering correctly. But I think they had a kick-ass sound, man.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I love that the vocals. He has a very unique and awesome voice. Um,
for sure.
yeah, I loved Vito. But then they came out with an album. I think that was supposed to be their last, called Wanderer. I was not into that at all. But then they came more recently out with Of Truth and Sacrifice, also an Eller Cantor album cover. That was more of a return to form. I kind of liked. So this one kind of has me excited. Hopefully, it's full Heaven Shall Burn is back. Hopefully, so.
Hell yeah.
And kind of like Caliban, they don't really tour the US ever. Another one of those German bands who doesn't really like coming over here. So hopefully, hey everyone listening, check this out, pre save it, download it, make this a successful album tour that want to come to the United States and tour. We can all finally see Heaven Shall Burn.
Yeah, that would be sick. Did you watch Nosferatu?
I did watch Nosferatu.
Ooh, all right, man. What'd you think? I mean,
So I liked a lot of it. Something about the ending just made me feel very uncomfortable, though. And I think that's just kind of how Robert Eggers kind of finishes his movies, because that's kind of how I felt with most of his movies. Somehow, The Witch, though, was able to like make me feel fulfilled, even though technically the bad guy won, but it still made me feel fulfilled because it felt like the girl is finally broken free of like that huge overbearing structure. It's like I kind of like that, but like Lighthouse
yeah,
kind of has the same thing. I really didn't like the Northman because I felt like after all that is like, so what was the fucking point? And the Northman is like, you spent your whole life just to kill a guy who still kills you. I mean, I didn't. You spent your whole life just to kill a guy and die when you could have stayed with the beautiful girl who has your baby. I mean, whatever, but okay. Um, But Nosferatu, very similar. But I rewatched the old one. I was like, okay, the ending is kind of still similar. But the only issue I have with this newer one, and I think it's not really explicitly said, so I don't know if it's just me my interpretation. I was wanting to see your interpretation. Does Nosferatu technically get what he's wanting? Because I feel like he knows that's going to happen, like the ending. Spoiler alert for everyone. If you haven't seen it, don't
Yeah,
skip a little bit. But
yeah. Yeah, man, I had a lot of thoughts like that. I mean, I haven't seen the old one, so I have really nothing to go off of other than, previous eras of Dracula, I don't know how many Dracula movies. I kind of have to side with the Joe Rogan on this one in that it is my all-time favorite Dracula movie that's ever been made. Definitely think that. I love Robert Eggers' touch on it, though. Like that's what really sets it apart from all those other Dracula movies. A lot of the other ones just get really kind of corny, little cheeseball with the script and shit like that. Whereas this one, like Nosferatu, dude, like when he starts talking, you're just like, oh my god, like that dude sounds 300 years old. You know what
mm-hmm,
I mean? Like he sounds so old.
mm-hmm,
Like it's crazy. And then I watched the whole movie, talked to Lex about it the next day, and I didn't even realize that that's Bill Skarsgård. I was like, holy shit, no way. That just blew my mind because, you know, I don't know, dude. It's just exceptional, exceptional acting skills. I mean, to pull that voice off was one of the most impressive feats to me
mm-hmm,
because he had the whole Transylvanian accent
mm-hmm,
heavily. It's not even like a light one. It was very heavily on that voice. And at
mm-hmm,
first, it kind of sounded a little bit like mockery, but no, he sticks with it very on par throughout the entire film, which I'm just like,
mm-hmm.
damn, dude, phenomenal acting skills for that. But yeah, the ending, dude, I don't know. I kind of liked it because I don't know that he knew that that was going to happen. I think that he knew that he was going to end up with her. But I think that the ending is such a great depiction of like his like the vampire's addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes so good, like he just couldn't stop. And like there's that scene where he literally breaks away from sucking and like looks into the distance. He could see like the sun's coming, like it's almost there, but then he just like he goes right back on it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, that's really good. Like that, he looked like an addict right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he just did too much, went too far, and yeah, killed him. But so with that being said, I don't know. I really kind of like the ending. Although the questions I had was, so did he? What happened to begin with? Because I feel like the movie opens and he's in her dreams.
Mm-hmm.
She's becoming kind of obsessed with him before her husband goes off to do the meeting or even talk to his almost conjurer, like the accountant guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what confused me the most because, like, how did he get in her mind to begin with?
So I looked into it a little bit. So because I was confused by the beginning part too. So that had to do with like I guess way before she met him. She had like this like depression spell, loneliness. So she just called out like screaming out and I guess praying out just for someone to come and show her love, give her an affection. And he heard it and came to her kind of like I don't know if it was spiritually or actual physically. But
Hmm.
she eventually somehow pulled away and escaped from him, married the guy. But I want to say Willem Dafoe's character even brings up that she actually has some like magical or like witch like lineage or something like that and some kind of ability. And that's why another why reason why he's kind of drawn to her and is able to do like the possession stuff and stuff like that. But another thing I'm because so the reason I think he it's all planned and why I'm even more uncomfortable and why I feel like he won was because they found the book in the Conjurer guy's property, didn't he?
Right.
So
Yeah.
wouldn't he have gotten that book from Nosferatu? So Nosferatu knows about that part.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. See, that character gave me the vibe that he's been trying his whole life. He's been trying to find this or bring this guy out
Hmm.
his entire existence. But, it's almost like a questionable believer of anything, and trying, and he just ends up getting lucky. And
Hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of weird loose ends there, you know what I mean? But um I don't know. I think that guy played a great crazy guy part for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
That
And
was
one
cool.
another thing about it is, I wonder because, like in the spell book, I think it says they join as one, and that's what causes he ends up dying because of it, whatever. But also, he would not do anything to her unless she uh took him in, like I want you, or pretty much almost like a marriage, they will sign this kind of like the contract. So with that, I'm also wondering, so are they both going to die and end up going into whatever afterlife being stuck as lovers? Because she's
Hmm.
also said that he was the best that she ever had in that fit of weakness with her husband. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another reason why I almost feel like he won. He got exactly everything he
Right.
wanted.
Yeah, no doubt. But like him getting offed at the end is just kind of like, well, what was that all for? I almost had that feeling at the end of this movie.
Hmm.
But he also was such a badass character that I was just like, he massacred everyone and then died. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, whatever. I mean, a great horror film monster depiction for sure. Um, but yeah, man, I still ended up with a lot of questions. But with that being said, I think that the movie was phenomenal for a modern
Hmm.
day depiction of an old timey horror film.
Oh yeah.
Dude did a fantastic job. One of my favorite pieces of cinematography in that is the shadowy hand
Yeah.
and how the camera would just follow the shadowy figure and you just see shit happen along that. I thought that was so fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
So badass.
I also like because they took a lot of that from the original, like even the silhouette of him in the shadow, doing the pose.
Yeah.
And also I like they kept this to where he's more synonymous with the plague. Not really like he is a monster, but he is actually like
Right.
the plague and
Kind of
disease.
tied to the plague.
Hmm.
Yeah. That was
But
cool.
there was another part of the movie that I was very uncomfortable, and I was actually very shocked they actually had it in the movie, and that was the kids scene. I was shocked by
Yes.
them showing it, and then it was the build up, the reveal, and then just how brutal it was.
Brutal at AF. Like, yeah, dude, I was shocked. That was a big shock moment. And it was very late in the film too, so I'm like, oh damn, dude. Yeah, it caught me by surprise. But once I seen that shadowy hand like goes over the dude and it's
Hmm.
just like, don't wake,
Hmm.
I was like, oh shit, that's not gonna be good. And then yeah, just terror.
Yeah,
I
once
was
the
like,
girl
oh
starts
fuck.
screaming, it's like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Very brutal, man. And yeah, I watched it by myself, so Lex didn't even get to see it. But man, what a great film! And I was kind of surprised by the appearance of Willem Dafoe. I was not expecting him
Hmm.
to be in this movie. I thought that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I really liked him because I feel like he's supposed to be kind of like the Van Helsing of the situation, and I think he was
Yeah,
awesome. Also, I really liked the guy. I don't know his name. He plays Kick-Ass. I really liked him in the movie. He was the guy who his
was
whole
it the?
family died,
Oh, okay. I didn't
and
know
then
him. Um, but the witch dude, I don't know that guy's name, but he was awesome as well.
the
I don't know if you.
accountant that like sends him out to. Is that who you're talking about?
No, I'm thinking of the guy that he comes in later in the film, is like assessing people of the plague and shit like that. And I think he brings in Willem Dafoe. He has
Oh
that really
yeah,
deep voice, talks like
yeah.
this. Yeah,
He's the guy from Game of Thrones and The Witch.
yeah, Yeah, dude. Awesome appearance from him, man. Great role as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I just couldn't help but like think that being in the same room as Willem Dafoe doing that role, God, it's got to be so cool. Because,
Hmm.
like, man, I felt like Willem Dafoe knocks it out of the park in this movie, even more than Lighthouse for me. Like, yeah, he was great in The Lighthouse. It was just a little bit odd of a film for me to get into. But this one, he almost kind of delivers the same sort of stuff, but really maintains the accent that he goes for in this movie again really well. But just the whole possession scene, I was like, damn, it's incredible.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it was
Also,
cool,
I
man.
I want to say I was very impressed with because I heard people complaining that she was in the movie. It was like that she's a nepo baby because she has famous parents or whatever. But the main girl, Lily Rose Depp or whatever, especially
Yeah,
during that part where she's screaming at him and then slowly turns into the possess, I thought that was
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, dude, it does the close up of her face, and you could
Hmm.
tell that it's like it almost looks CGI because it looks unreal, but it's not. Like it's like legit acting, and it's her turning her face into like a demon. I was like, damn, dude, that is phenomenal acting skills. And
Hmm.
I watched that whole movie and didn't even know that that was Johnny Depp's stuff, but makes sense. Like I think she's gonna have an epic career, dude, in
Hmm.
acting. 'Cause, I mean, it was an amazing performance, man.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that was a awesome movie. Oh, one more uncomfortable part. I'm surprised they
Yeah.
actually have this in the movie. I looking back, it's like I do think it was a good. It's very risky to put it in the movie, but I thought looking back, it's like it's good. It adds to the character and their love. But the whole like when the guy's wife died and he just undoes the casket, and we can all assume what he did, and he
Yeah.
dies doing it. The whole
Yeah.
necrophiliac, I'm assuming, but
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. And I think it kind of does add to like he's so heartbroken he misses his wife and he just doesn't care if like because at that point I don't know if he's a full believer or still a skeptic. So either way, it's the plague, and he probably knows he's gonna die. Because I want to say he was already coughing at that point, so he knows he's gonna die. One last necrophiliac act, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think he just did that part to just add to kind of I don't know, the environment, that the film was depicting. Yeah.
the
Very,
insanity.
very weird. Yeah, yeah, very weird, but yeah, man, I felt really captured the times very well. If we can even, to our best imagination, I guess. But yeah, dude, man, if you have not seen that movie, it is a life changer, I think, for horror films.
Oh yeah, it was a amazing movie. Check it out, Nosferatu.
For
I
sure.
still need to see Romulus.
Yeah, yeah, man, that was a good one too. That was a really good one too. Um, yeah, I didn't even realize that Robert Eggers was the Northman
Yeah.
after.
What did you think of that one? I liked it at first, but as it kept going, I was like, so what's the point of this?
I think it's a good movie for Vikings. It's a
Hmm.
great depiction of Vikings. They were savages. I think it captures that really well. It still feels like a little dreary for, I don't know. I kind of wanted some more other type cinematography, but I guess it's just supposed to be a dark, Viking movie, so whatever. But that's just me being nitpicky. It's not my favorite of what he's done, but I don't know. I kind of thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
I think there was good parts. But I don't know. I feel like I said earlier, I felt like at the end of it, I just felt like, so what was the point? You just kind of wasted this whole movie was just is a revenge, but yes, you do it, but I mean, he still kills you because also, I feel like, and you kind of brought it up, like at the beginning, you kind of feel sympathetic for him. His whole family has been murdered and stuff like that.
hmm
But then it really transitions to him being older and going on Viking raids and just murdering and raping people. It's like, well,
yeah,
that sympathetic part's just completely gone now. And it's
right,
like, no, he's gonna go. And also, the guy who like took over his father's kingdom is now, I feel like, in a hasn't gone any better. I feel like his life got worse. He's just barely like almost like a farmer with a couple slaves. So
Right.
I feel like that at that point it's just kind of pettiness.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely an odd film. One of my favorite Viking movies is I think it's called Valhalla Rising, and it has damn, what is that dude's name? Uh I'm gonna draw a total blank, so I'm just gonna Google this one real quick. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was actually an indie film, and it's got that dude that was in Star Wars Rogue One.
Oh, is it the guy who plays like Hannibal?
If you ever
Uh,
seen that,
like
he's
young
the
Hannibal?
father in the. Yeah, maybe. Cast. Let's see. Mads Mikkelsen
Oh, okay.
or Mikkelsen. Yeah. Badass film though. It came out in '09, and it's Nicholas Winding Refn did it, if that's how you pronounce his name. He also did the movie Drive, which is kind of an obscure indie film with Ryan Gosling, and it's just about him in a car and he kills people. And really kind of cool though. I always loved that movie, but this one was, I thought, it's one of my favorite Viking movies because it also touches base with them getting into hallucinogens, and they like take mushrooms and go on this crazy trip and shit like that. And it's just, I think, represents the ancient times really well. And this dude, Mads Mikkelsen, he's like a slave and he's got one eye and he's just a fucking madman. And these guys basically pit him against other slaves, and it's brutal, dude. It's a brutal Viking movie, but you should check that one out if you're looking for a good Viking film to watch. It's pretty
All right.
badass.
I gotcha. Yeah, I think I've heard of that one, but I need to watch it.
I've
Yeah.
returned from my slumber.
I
Sorry.
will say when I first heard that accent, I was really hoping it's like, man, I'm hoping this is just like his old decrepitness, and once he sucks blood, it'll slowly change into a more normal voice. But nope, it's throughout it, and he
Yeah,
does
no.
pull it off after a while. You get used to it.
Yeah, I know. That was like kind of my reaction. I was like, "Oh gosh, no way is he going to do this throughout the whole movie, and no way is this going to be good." I was very thrown off in the beginning. I was like, it made me pretty nervous, but then I was just like, okay, he's kind of riding it out. Like it didn't seem fake, you know.
Hmm.
And I think that's what really made the acting phenomenal. Is because
Yeah.
he like was born into a 500-year-old Dracula or however fucking old he is. But
And I don't know if he was doing it live or if it was After Effects, but also the incorporation of the constant wheezing, I thought was also
yeah,
good.
like
Also
heavy
to like
breathing
highlight
and
his,
shit.
yeah, to highlight him being old, but also to have him further represent him being the plague. Like I thought that
Right.
was a good touch.
My last, well, maybe not my last, but one of my biggest Dracula questions though is like if drinking blood makes him stronger, like why is he so weak? And if he's that strong, why is he so weak when the guy shows up? You know what I mean? If he
I,
can just charm relentlessly like that, like why isn't he just kicking ass fucking throughout his hundreds of years?
because I think so where he was at, because remember there was just that village nearby, and it
Yeah,
seemed like they were aware of how he was, and they would but they seemed like they had an agreement. So I think he
yeah, they
didn't
would kind of
like fully kill
sacrifice
them
everything.
because he just wanted to keep getting what he wanted.
True.
So I don't know
Okay.
if he was technically weak. He might have just been playing it kind of thing to like because obviously he sounds old, he looks old. He has to get this contract signed because apparently vampires follow the rules when it comes to contracts. But he has to persuade him into doing it. When it comes to regular Dracula, I do think so. I haven't read the full book, but for the part what I read, he isn't weak at all. He's kind of is more playing that thing, and he has pretty much a fresh blood supply, whatever he wants. But I do think in other ones, it is more of like a he's such in a secluded area, so the supply is scant, and that's why he's kind of weaker in the other ones.
Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I still think it's kind of horse shit. I mean, if it, he's this legendary, I feel like he could just charm whatever and kill at the snap of a finger. But
Yeah.
and then like the contract deal, that's also kind of a hang up. Like I think I need like a comedy skit done by like Jack Black, and Jack Black is required to go to Dracula's castle and sign the contract, but I want it to be like a Tenacious D moment, like where, Dracula's just like, all right, sign. And Jack Black's just like, no, no, I'm not gonna fucking sign. you know? Like what happens if you don't sign? Like, does he just get to leave?
Or even have it like a very bureaucratic thing, like, no, you have to use this color ink. You signed the wrong
Yeah.
part, so we got to
Yeah,
we
he
need
signs in
a
blue.
we need a
A blue
notary
click pen.
here to prove that this contract is null and void.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, you printed. I need it. I need cursive.
This contract is void. It's in Calibri.
That'd be hilarious.
We are kind of getting to the 2 hour mark, so I was wondering if you're ready to do some suicide silence.
Yes, let's do it. It won't take long.
So, leading up to this, I didn't know if do you know that so Garza has his skyrocketing podcast. I didn't know that because it's gotten so successful. Now the whole band has a podcast together called the Suicide Silence Podcast.
Oh, I
Have you seen
didn't even
this?
know that at all. Uh-uh.
I've been watching clips and I even started watching almost a full episode. It's hilarious
Oh, really?
having them like all five in the room. The one I
Oh,
watched,
shit.
it wasn't all of them, but it was most of them, and their old drummer Alex Lopez.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's funny, and I recommend it.
Okay. Is it like Eddie Hermuda and
Yeah, it's
everything?
Eddie.
Or?
It's the whole band. It's Eddie. It's Carey or Kennedy. I forget his
Oh,
name.
okay. Yeah.
Garza, Mark Halloran, and the new drummer.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have to check that out.
Yeah, here we go. We got the legendary, pioneering deathcore legends, Titans,
Absolutely.
Suicide
Titans.
Silence, um, who kind of right at the gate came out with a game changer, and do think it was because I think from what I remember seeing, they started in 2002. This first album didn't drop until 2008 or seven. I want to say probably 7 or 8. Spotify says 8, but I feel like it was earlier than that. Either way, they took their time, released a couple demos, most notably one, the Family Guy demo with all the Family
Mm.
Guy samples, an
Yeah.
EP, which they apparently self funded and self released themselves. So they built up a lot of hype, really narrowed it down. And yeah, let's just get right into this. And that's 2008, according to Spotify's debut, The Cleansing. What's your thoughts on this debut album?
Yeah, dude, it's badass. One of my favorite albums of all time, I think metal, as far as that goes. Because it was such a gateway album for me into how heavy music can really get as far as my liking goes. Like it was mind blowing, dude, listening to this album. Um, I I was just so captivated by the lyrics, the crushing riffs, the drumming, dude. You name it, this album has it. I mean, it's and the lyrics, dude, so dark, so heavy, unanswered. That's a badass lyric or lyrical content in that song. Um, one of my favorites is Eyes Sewn Shut. Is that it?
Yeah,
Sewing the eyes shut of the man who saw God and ceasing the lies that spill from his jaw. It's like, damn, dude, that's so brutal. Those lines are just so brutal. And I feel like this album through and through is just brutal, man. This is absolutely a 10 for me.
I gotcha.
It's one of the biggest albums in my listening molding, just I don't know. It molded my likes. So yeah, dude. monumental album for me.
I
What's
gotcha.
your thoughts on the
I
cleansing?
do love this album. I remember seeing a lot of buzz about them. I even saw a couple shirts of theirs at Worlds of Fun this summer. It was coming out. Um, so I eventually got into it and loved it, and it was the music video for Unanswered that finally hooked me. And I've heard someone describe Unanswered this way, and it fits it so perfectly. Unanswered has it kicks in with such ferocity and energy in a band that's trying to show you what they got that no other band has
Hmm.
been able to do since then. And it really does because it just, as soon as that song starts, you can tell this band has had pent up energy from pretty much since 2002, just ready to just unleash it. Uh, Badass
Is a great
song.
set opener too. Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
fucking
They
open
still
their
play
sets
it.
with that all the time. Oh, really? Hell yeah.
hmm And even in leading up to this, I've been watching some live videos with her, Eddie. And even just watching those, even though I'm not big into the uh, Eddie stuff with them, seeing him play that stuff and seeing them still play this stuff makes me want to see it because it still sounds amazing, high energy. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, unanswered, amazing song. Price of Beauty, um, kind of borderline questionable when it comes to what we're talking about in the song, but it's still an amazing song. You still want to scream along to it. Also love the song "The Fallen." Then also classic. I'm pretty sure they still probably sell these T-shirts. No Pity for a Coward.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
then you got the song "Bludgeoned to Death." You also have um, the Green Monster, Destruction of a Statue for the
Yeah.
deep tracks. Heavy as
So
hell
many
and awesome.
so many hits, dude, on this
hmm
album.
And I
So
also
many.
like how the opening intro track and the fading out of Destruction of the Statue, it's almost like it's supposed to be like looped
Intertwine.
together. So it's almost
Yeah.
like you're just supposed to keep listening to this album over and over again. Um,
Yeah, dude.
this is an amazing album. However, I will not. I'm gonna say it's not. I do have another favorite. Um,
Wow.
so this is gonna be as close as I can without being a 10. It's gonna be a 9.9 because it is up there as
Wow.
super close. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be a 9.9 for me.
Okay.
So odds are this will probably still be the number one. But yeah, this is an amazing album. I understand why this when people cover Suicide Silences usually it's a track off this album. It's gonna
Hell
be
yeah, dude.
like I've seen No Pity for a Coward. I've seen what was it? Obviously unanswered. Like they have there's a whole the cleansing cover album with a bunch of different vocalists and I think David Simonik from Signs of Swarm did unanswered. Sick.
Wow,
Love
dude.
it.
Yeah, that's fucking epic if he did. I don't know that I heard that one, but damn, I can imagine how badass that must be.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Love that album, man. And I don't have much to brag about as far as music goes, but I gotta say, dude, I have a signed, autographed CD of this album with Mitch's autograph.
I
It's
never got
it's
to meet him.
one of my bragging points. But yeah, it was just a meet and greet line, at a Mayhem Fest. But
Yeah.
they were so damn nice. I mean, for they had like a 1 p.m. set, hot as fuck that day, and then they had a ginormous line for this meet and greet. They're all sweaty and fucking sunburnt and shit, I'm sure. But dude, just the biggest sweethearts, every single band member. And in comparison to Job for a Cowboy, who was just like, sign, get the fuck out of my face sort of demeanor. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and talk shit on them, but I just think that I don't know, it meant a lot for the fact that they just pretty much took the time to just sit and like chit chat for a second, like
Yeah.
with us when we got the sign shit and stuff. It was just really cool, man. Badass band, though.
Hell yeah.
Epic album.
All right. Up next in 2009, we have their second album, No Time to Bleed. And this album had a lot of hype to it. I remember this is off the heels of Suicide Silence performing at the Golden Gods Awards. where they played unanswered, and I guess they didn't know how to censor his screen vocals. They censored his when he said "get the fuck up," but not the "where's your fucking god?" And when he's screaming it, like okay, I
Yeah,
guess we're
yeah.
not going to blur that, but
It screamed. It's inaudible.
but but they did also premiere a new song, and that was the song "Wake Up" from this album.
Oh, hell yeah.
And this is my favorite Suicide Silence album simply because for me every track is awesome on the song. I think the flow is good. Um, Obviously it opens up with "Wake Up." You have "Lifted," which starts off with that eerie boom boom dun, dun, into like the heavier riffs. You have "Smoke" with that awesome. You got "Something
Mm,
Invisible," the awesome track "No Time to Bleed." You got "Suffer," and then also this mid album instrumental, which is probably one of the best instrumentals I've heard. Not necessarily for the musicianship, but I love the sample and the eeriness that comes with it, with the whole clip of the
monkey,
the
monkey
monkey
ripping
ripping off the
face.
girl's face off, and the girl just screaming. It's you can hear the actual genuine scared I'm going to die panic in her voice, which just adds to it more than with the awesome chugging and the instruments. I love it. Kicks into Wasted. And the album ends with two banger songs. You got Genocide and Disengage. And that's one of the things I love about this album. Just about every track has something that's one of those lyric parts where you just want to scream along. Like Genocide has that we've been fucking this whore, Mother
Oh
Earth
yeah.
for a while. She's a dirty bitch, or she's a filthy bitch anyway. It's like I
Yeah, dude.
love how like it's negative, but it just gets you going. Oh, I love this album.
It's great.
And like I've talked about before, Disengage. It's a clunky riff I didn't like at first, but the more I listened to it, the more I loved it. Thank You Halo 3, because I just played this album over and over again. And that's how I fell in love with it. Yeah,
Nice.
this is gonna be my 10. What are your thoughts on this album?
Hell yeah, man. I mean, I was a big diehard Suicide Silence fan like since the cleansing. So it had tons of hype and so much hype that I was ripping these songs like downloaded bootleg versions before they, dropped and shit. Or as soon as they would drop, or I would find a drop on YouTube, I'd look on LimeWire to go download it. And for the longest time, I thought that the downloads that I was getting was just like shittier kind of quality, like production wise, and chalked it up to that. But no, that's where this album kind of was a letdown for me. Not a giant letdown, but just a little tick on there that I'm just like, damn it, I kind of wish it had a different production because
Mm,
I feel like it might have been a bigger hit. Like, there's just a noticeable difference between the cleansing and this one. Whereas I
hmm
think the cleansing almost sounds a little bit better.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like there's something definitely going on with the vocals that's clearly different with this album than with the cleansing. Like he still is like loud volume wise, um, but it's just almost some sort of like distortion added that I don't really think's necessary for that dude's vocals.
hmm
Like, I mean, he rips it, alone. So I don't. It just sounds like they did a lot of effect type shit to him, and I just didn't really think it was needed. But um, and then other than that, like the sample, it is cool. Like it definitely sounds panicky and worrisome, but it was almost a letdown knowing that it was a chimpanzee call. Like,
Yeah.
because once I heard about it, I was like, oh my gosh, is this a shooting? Is this a murder? Like, sample that
Yeah.
I'm listening to? Like, I had to look it up. And then I was just like, it's a 911 call about a chimpanzee. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I
For
thought
the
it was
longest time,
so weird.
I thought someone was broke into this woman's house and was trying to murder her. That's what
Yeah,
the whole vibe of the song makes it feel like that.
yeah. I was like, I don't know. I found out it was a chimp, and I was like, huh. I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about it, but with that being said, I still loved it. I mean, it still has great songs. Wake Up, I was a fan of that song since it dropped. Wasted, I think, is another great one. There's really good songs on here too. Another one of my favorites in their discography. I would give this one a 9.
Okay. All right. I do think that there was some I don't know if they ran out of money. But there were some weird choices when it came to the music videos, like specifically with Disengage. Because I don't know about you. Have you seen the music video for Disengage? Because it feels like I thought that was a rough version of the music video they sent out. I was like, okay, we're gonna get the real one where there's actual like effects. But it's
Uh-huh.
but no, that was just the finished product and it was just them playing in a white room.
Well, I don't know if I've seen that one or not.
Yeah, it's literally just them playing in a white room. So I thought, all right, they're gonna put like effects on the white walls, like because it looks like screen projectors are behind them and like
Huh.
around them. So like they're gonna like add something in the after production, maybe even cut some stuff, like with the Price of Beauty music video with like other scenes, tell a story. No, it's literally just that.
Huh. Isn't there like one that's like a trippy visualizer too? Like maybe Wake Up or something like that? That I kind of thought was just like a homemade one, but I think it was actually like official
I'm
visualizer or
not
some shit.
sure. I know they
Uh,
had. I know Wake Up had a very like hallucinogenic vibe in the music video.
okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's No Time to Bleed. And then up next, so 2012, more hype, because also they've been teasing this one for a while. Um, I remember even reading an interview. They even got a cabin to try to seclude themselves from it from everyone to kind of get their own sound. And I even want to say, Mitch Lucker, the singer, was wanting. He's a huge Deftones fan, and he wanted this new album. He wanted to incorporate a little bit of new metal influences into the album, and he wanted this album to be his band's Black White Pony album. He wanted, and that's why also there's a kind of a symbol, and that's why it is. This album is called The Black Crown. So, and you kind of see that influence in there. So, what's your thoughts on the 2012 The Black Crown?
Definitely hype going into it. I think for me it just fell short. And I don't know, man. I really was still on board with this band, but I definitely kind of noticed a lack of like metal content in the lyrics. It almost just felt kind of all over the place, kind of scattered um thematics. I didn't really know what what is the Black Crown. I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but I like the new metal aspect. Like you get Jonathan Davis is featured on a track, which I thought is incredible for a band like this. And I got to say, that's probably my favorite track of this song. However, I don't know that I really love Jonathan Davis's part as much
Hmm.
as I love the rest of the song. It's like one of the most genty, hoppy, like badass, just groovy Suicide Silence songs. But his part just almost sounds kind of forced.
Hmm.
So I don't know. There's some loose aspects for me on this album. Still some good ones, but like it was hard for me to get past like the whole YOLO type shit
Yeah.
that they did on this. But with that being said, they also probably I think got their most success. Like that song is I think their top played song on Spotify.
Hmm.
You Only Live Once. Um, and it's that message is tough because it's like it's a good message. Like, yeah, you only live once, and enjoy this life, and that's what he's saying in it. But at the same time, it's just like I don't know how metal that is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I mean, it obviously sounds metal when Suicide Silence performs it, but um, I don't know, man. I'm a deep thinker, so I analyze the shit out of this, and I don't know, man. I dig it. Like I said, there's still cool parts, but I think I would probably give this one an 8.8.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of the same vibe. I kind of liked it when it came out, but even revisiting it is like, this is not really the same Suicide Silence that was on the first two albums. I feel like new metal kind of did take it over a little too much on this one. And I feel like this is where the whole like brr parts, guitar stuff is a little too much, and I feel like they kind of stuck with that brr sound on a lot of their rest of their albums. There are still some good songs on here, like "Slaves to Substance" isn't bad. I kind of like that one. "Human Violence" is pretty good. Um, I also kind of like the that instrumental, that "March to the Black Crown." "Witness the Addiction" featuring Jonathan Davis is pretty good. And I kind of understand where I do like. I do kind of like Jonathan Davis's part, but I do feel like it's awkward in the song. Like I don't feel like it really fits with what the rest of the band is doing. I almost feel like Jonathan Davis's part is almost separate. I love
Right.
the lyrics he's saying. I like the how precise the rhyming is, to where you can kind of almost figure out how he's going to finish the sentence. Um, so that one's a good one. "Cross-eyed Catastrophe" is pretty good. "Smashed" featuring Frank Mullen from Suffocation's a nice addition. But I
Oh,
do
I didn't even
think
catch that feature.
he's on Smashed. But I do think there's an even the attitude switch to this album. I'm not too big of a fan of, like you mentioned, like with "You Only Live Once." Like, and this was during, I think Drake had just came out with a song, so everyone was saying this all the time,
Yeah.
and it was just like very meh. I was not a fan of that. "Fuck Everything." It has some cool parts, but after a while, I'm just kind of tired of like this. I feel like it's just kind of the same vibe and attitude as "You Only Live Once." Like, yeah, fuck everything. Like,
Yeah.
not too into that. OCD, I feel like is probably like him like talking about his OCD, but I don't feel like that. Like you said, it doesn't really fit the whole metal aspect. Like, you can take a mental disorder you have and like make it metal. But I don't feel like just
Right.
complaining about OCDs, not that, or just talking about having OCDs, not really that interesting of a metal subject, especially for Suicide Silence, who kind of delves
Right.
into and wallows in the filth and the dark and disturbing or sometimes controversial stuff. I don't feel like that really
Yeah.
fits that. So this is a hit and miss album. I'm gonna probably do probably an 8 on this one.
Okay.
All right. So that was
Now the
2012's.
good stuff.
So sadly, after
Sorry.
the Black Crown, Mitch Lucker, the famous, very highly influential deathcore singer and singer of Suicide Silence, died in a motorcycle accident on Halloween Day, I think 2012,
Yeah,
so
somewhere around
2012
there.
or 2011 or 13, somewhere around there.
Rest in
So
peace.
there's a gap. They did a memorial show with a bunch of friends, and then I guess they decided to. Obviously, they're going to continue the band because I think we could all agree like the band can't really just stop. They're only 3 albums in, and I don't think even the band's kind of said I don't think Mitch would have wanted to stop. So they decided to keep going with a close friend of the band and close friend of Mitch Lucker, with All Shall Perish's Eddie Hermida, and they released in 2014 a return, and that is the album "You Can't Stop Me." Um, and you know what? In all honesty, I don't mind this album that much. There are a
Mm,
lot of cool parts on this album I kind of like. Like "Inherit the Crown," I think is pretty has that same kind of like fast, nasty sounding Suicide Silence we're kind of come to expect. I think the vocals are on point. "Cease to Exist." "Sacred Words"
hmm
has some pretty cool parts. The "We are God, we are goddamn, we are goddamn proud." Like, I know it's not the coolest of lyrics, but him with the vocals and the bass drop at the same time, it hits awesomely. Then I also have "Corpse Grinder" on the song "Control." I think that's a great fit, especially Corpse Grinder's part. "Stay down, kneel down, stay down because I control you," something like along those lines. Awesome. You also have the title track "You Can't Stop Me," which I guess I want to say was the last song that Mitch actually wrote. I want to say he wrote the lyrics. Uh,
Okay.
so that's on
I
there.
knew that
He also,
incorporated some Mitch lyrics in this album. I just didn't know how much.
Yeah, I want to say specifically "You Can't Stop Me." I want to say was 100% written by him. Um, and I think that's kind of where some of the lyrics kind of does tie back to that Black Crown kind of era. We are the Diamond
Hmm.
Crushers and stuff like that. I feel like that's more of a Mitch themed line. Um, and then you also have Monster Within featuring Greg Puciato, which I feel like is a weird feature, but I still like it because it's Greg Puciato. I love Dillinger. It's awesome. Yeah. Other than that, there's some weird stuff on here. You got Don't Die. Um,
Yes.
I don't know. For me, it's actually not too bad of an album. Um, and I wasn't really disappointed. I kind of got what I was expecting going into it. Not really
Hmm.
disappointed. So I'm probably gonna give this one a. I'll give this one an 8. I feel like it's on par for me anyway as the Black Crown. So I'm probably gonna give this an 8. What's your thoughts on this album?
Okay. Yeah, I can't help but I say that I fell off, pretty much after Mitch passed, and I knew that it was going to be big shoes to fill, and I think that Eddie does, the best of his abilities to facilitate that role, and because he was friends, and so that's cool and everything, man. And I'm glad that they kept going. But it wasn't really there for me. I didn't really jam this album that much. I think it's cool that they incorporated some lyrics left of his. Um, the music's not bad. There is some good stuff in here. But it just wasn't really prominent in my rotation. So I didn't even know that Corpse Grinder was featured on the song. So I might have to go back to that and listen to it because
Mm-hmm.
um, kind of obsessed with that dude right now. But um, yeah, man, I don't know. I'd probably give this one a 7.5.
Okay. All right. So with that out of the way, now we got to talk about the best album, and that is let me paint a picture for everyone who doesn't know. So in a 3 year time, they said, "Hey, we're going to be coming out with a new album, and it's going to be very new metal, and it's also going to be about 80% clean vocals, and I think is either 80 or 70%." And there was a lot of people just pissed. And I want to say
Yeah.
at the same time they dropped the song Doris, and which famously created a huge meme of the teehee, which is featured in the song teehee, and it's caused a lot of backlash. I mean, they should have expected this. But what made things worse was the band got super defensive and then started attacking fans, attacking deathcore in general. I remember like Eddie himself was even saying something about like all these deathcore bands sound the same. Why we should stop just doing the same shit over and over again. We want to do something different. Fuck everyone else who just wants to keep doing the same shit over and over again. And I want to say even Alex Lopez was going on to comment threads telling people to go fuck themselves, fuck you, like just getting super confrontational with all the fans. Like, this is a great
Oh,
way to
shit.
just continue this band. You're just gonna
Yeah.
nosedive it more. Um, but you know what? The album finally dropped, and with the very clever title of Suicide Silence, and the even more clever album cover art of their logo with them, and that is it. So we should all be excited and
Yeah.
thankful that they came out with this. Um, this album is
It's a fucking
it
hot mess.
it feels like there's a lot so I would say just about every song there's parts where it's like I feel like this could go good. There's some good ideas throughout the on just about every song, but I feel like they take the good idea and they know it's a good idea, but they say, "Nope, fuck them," and we're just gonna ruin it. Uh, I feel like that in songs like Silence. Dying in a Red Room is kind of getting there. I feel like that's the closest it could get to the vibe I feel like they're trying to go for. But I feel like they need a better release on it because I feel like it's building up to emotions and building up to something, but never really materializes. And for a band that's like Death, I don't feel like that's something you should really do. Is just leave it open ended and never give that release. Um, Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down's like in the middle of the album. It's like their only heavy song besides Doris, and I hate it. I feel like the lyrics are dumb. Hold Me Up, Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down. I was, even though it's like the only heavy song, I hate it. Um, and then also there is another heavy song I forgot about. Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself. That song was actually pretty good. It's just that the title, I hate it so goddamn much. There's This album feels like the biggest fucking troll that they could have done
Yeah.
from top to bottom of how they promoted it, the album art, the name of the album, and the ideas in this album. This is going to be I'm going to give this a 2.5. What's your thoughts on this album?
I'm pretty much right there with you. I hate this album. I hate the cover. I think that this is the album where I think that they were hanging out with Deftones way too much and were thinking that they are just in the same line of music and they can just do the same thing that that band can. And I think this is their attempt at it, and I think it's just a fucking flop. I don't think that the Deftones. That's cool if you guys are friends and everything, but it just doesn't work with this band. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't write a Deftones album if I wanted to, but I mean, obviously, I, I don't, I don't know. I'm not trying to even compare myself to these guys by any means. I believe that they are talented musicians, but I can't get past this album and how much I don't like it. Um, I agree. The last song, "Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself," I cringe every time I read that. Like, it just screams that you are trying way too hard to be edgy or catchy
It
or
sounds
something.
like a middle schooler trying to be like funny at the playground, doesn't it? It sounds dumb.
Yeah, yeah, it's so dumb. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know a lot of the meaning behind these lyrics, why what inspired them to write this, but I just a lot of the songs I don't like it. And I think the music's is close to Deftones. The music's pretty close to it, but the vocals are not there. The singing's not good, even, and it's tough. It's a tough listen. I would give this a 2.3.
Okay. So I think we have officially gotten our lowest ever score of 4.7. Also,
Yeah,
I don't understand what the fuck they were thinking, because what are you going to do how are you going to promote this live? Like, go to a show, you play it unanswered, and then you're going to follow up with what? Silence? And
right. Or
just have,
Doors.
yeah, like you have these slow, open songs, but this people were just got done pretty much beating the shit out of each other, and then they're just going to
Right.
just stand there and be like, huh,
Yeah, right.
dying
Talk
in a
about a
red
dull
room.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of boring, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. I still question it. I was almost positive that they dropped this and then pulled it because it was so badly received and everything. I almost think that there was an instance of that. But then I think they maybe just went through and dropped it instead. I don't know. But I think it probably may have benefited them to maybe shelve this one and think about it.
Yeah, because I remember even with the negative reception they got as soon as it dropped, a lot of people were saying like it sounds unfinished, which it does. And they're like, no, this is exactly how we wanted it to sound. Everything on this album is exactly how we want it to sound. Like, you shouldn't admit to this because it's
Yeah.
fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after that, pretty much like, so as you kind of brought it up, like a lot of fans after Mitch died pretty much felt like the band died. Um, a lot of releasing this album kind of made everyone feel the same way. Like the dirt is on this band's grave. They're done. Um, However, it seemed like enough of the bullying had actually gotten to them, and in 2020, they decided to release another album called "Become the Hunter," and essentially just pretend that whole thing that happened in 2017 just didn't happen. We're just gonna pretend that just never happened. We're just
Yeah,
gonna,
they didn't they didn't ride out that genre. Let's just say that.
yeah, this whole deathcore genre is stupid, but we're gonna go back and play it. And that's, I feel like, is slightly my problem with these two last albums is that you stood your ground and talked all this shit on deathcore, and but now that's hitting your wallet, you're gonna crawl back with your tail tucked between your legs, and you're like, we gotta we gotta pay the bills, we gotta give the people what they want, kind of thing. I don't know. It feels. I don't know how you feel about it, but that kind of like doesn't matter what you guys
Yeah,
release nowadays. But I will say this album, Becoming the Hunter, it's not it's not full return to form, but I will say I do enjoy it somewhat. I think Meltdown is kind of a good intro track. Two Steps kind of does bring that fiery passion back. But
right.
when, as soon as we get to the song Feel Alive and I hear that chorus and I just think back to that title of "Don't get hurt, you might hurt," or don't be careful, you might hurt yourself," because the lyric is "I need to kill to feel alive," and it's just repeated over and over again. It's like, why is this a song? It feels cringy.
Yeah,
I don't feel like there's a story, there's no point to this. It just feels like it's
right,
like that reel that's been going around of that guy creating the stereotypical 90s new metal song. Like, there's no feeling behind
right.
this, there's no realness, you're not telling a story. It just feels
Almost
forced and
seems
cringy.
generated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
yeah. It's lyrics. Yeah, they're not there for me. I mean, I think it's a step in the right direction. Obviously from the last one, in a more appropriate direction, and bringing back the heavy again, thankfully. Um, but yeah, man, I can't help but to kind of get on edge when I hear some of these lyrics too. And like "Love Me to Death," I know that was a big song, but I'm just like, how is that metal? Like, what is this even saying? I
mhm.
don't know.
Yeah, it also just feels like the riskiness and like edginess, and like the edginess back in the early days, it came from like almost like horror movie style and like almost like borderline kind of Mitch's views on things of how he sees the world when he gets angry. Like he has this whole fuck religion, fuck the plastic surgery industry, fuck um
Yeah.
just like all that stuff in general, to where this just feels like hollow edginess, to where Mitch's, when he was being edgy, it was kind of he had a point of view behind it. So this one just kind of
Hmm.
feels a little hollow and doesn't feel as grimy and dirty and dangerous as the early albums did. I'm probably going to give this one a 6.7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much right there with you. I think I'm going to give this one a 7.
Okay. So we got 13.7. Let's do 2 because I guarantee the other one's going to be above the self-title as well. All right. And lastly, 3 yeah, 3 years later, we have Suicide Silence's new album, Remember You Must Die. Um, and I want to say this is not long after Lamb of God's song, Memento Mori, which is literally Latin for the same phrase. So I feel like I feel like there's been a lot of Memento Mori song titles or album titles. So I don't feel like
Hmm.
this is a new or original concept for a song or title. And also, I feel like this album art could work. However, I hate the fact that there's a fucking astronaut on this goddamn album art, and it throws the vibe off it's so stupid. It makes it feel wacky when you're not supposed to be a wacky fucking band. What the fuck is this? Um, but anyways, into actual music, it's not bad, but I don't feel like it has as much cohesiveness as Becoming the Hunter was. I don't mind the song Capable of Violence, NFW. but it's still not there. So for me, I'm probably going to give this one a 6.5. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. So this is actually my favorite modern Suicide sound. Ever since Eddie joined the band, this is my favorite culmination of everyone's elements in the band. I think they sound aggressive again. The music, I think, it's pretty fucking on par with old school Suicide Silence, man. I think they're getting really creative with the riffage and the breakdowns and shit like that. That's all solid, but I still cannot get past the lyrics in some of the titles. Like, I hate Remember, You Must Die. I don't like it. I mean, I can get past it, I think, more than some other of the titles previously. Um, but it's just like, Remember, You Must Die. It just reminds me so much of Don't Be Careful, You Might Hurt Yourself.
Hmm.
Remember, You Must Die. You know, I don't know. It's just like trying to be a play on words, but it's just, I don't know. Um, and maybe I'm just being picky, but I do think this is the best sound of them since since Eddie's joined him. So as far as the sound goes, man, I think it's getting there for me. Um, I just don't know how much I really care for the lyrics and the writing on that aspect, and it almost just seems like uh, the cache is just kind of empty. The you know, like the content is just it's almost just like written to produce an album just to throw one out there. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like, he wrote 50 songs and these were the selected 13 or however many songs is on this album. It feels like he had to like it got down to the wire and he produced that last song for this album or wrote that last song for this album. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's not the case, but it's yeah, man. I don't know. A little lackluster for me, but I don't know. I'd probably give this one a 7.5.
Okay. I'm trying to remember did I do a 6.7?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
So you need a 7.5.
Yeah.
So 14. Oh, point 0.2. There we go. All right. There we go. And that is our Suicide Silence album rankings. And to no surprise to anyone, the top three are going to be the Meshuggah era, with The Cleansing at number one with a 19.9, No Time to Bleed with a flat 19, and The Black Crown with a 16.5. And obviously at the bottom, with our new record for a lowest score for an album, is the self-titled album Suicide Silence with a 4.7. I'm happy with
Yeah,
that.
sorry, not sorry for that one. I mean,
I mean, I'm all
I,
for
I
like experimenting, but that was
yeah, it's odd. Odd moment in
especially
time.
especially fighting with your fans about it. What that
Yeah.
was, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it kind of almost reminds me of the Phil Bozeman and the whole attacking the metal elitists, and them dedicating that whole stupid song. And I just
Yeah.
remember the promo for that, fuck all the elitists, this one's for you, or whatever bullshit that was.
Yeah.
I
I
quickly
do
passed over that shit.
I do kind of understand a little bit of the interaction, because I did see some people were coming to defend Suicide Silence. Like, I guess Corpse Grinder even came out because he wasn't a fan of some of the things that I guess some fans were saying, like Mitch Looker would be rolling around in his grave, or this is spitting on his grave. So I do think bringing up their dead friend, and him like being disappointed in them as if they all knew him
Yeah,
personally, I do think
yeah,
that's a
that's
little
not good.
far. But at the
Yeah,
same time, if that's going on, understand that's not all your fans, and
right.
maybe just stop reading the comments. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
just just my opinion,
right,
because then it's turning into a thing of like, if you don't like the album, then fuck you kind of attitude of to fans.
right. Yeah, no doubt, man. It puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth. I mean,
Hmm. Yeah. So those are Suicide Sounds. Who should we do next? Was that my pick, I think? So it's your turn?
I don't know, man. Maybe, or
I
I
do
think you
have
threw
some
some out and I picked.
suggestions.
Yeah, throw them at me because I felt like I came in with suggestions, but I don't know. I'm kind of open to whatever.
All right. Um, so I went through a catalog because I thought we did this band, but we have not. And I guarantee you're gonna want to do it. Meshuggah. Um, what were the other ones I had? Machine Head, possibly. Death
Oh, fuck.
Heaven. Uh,
Okay.
Imperial Triumphant. And what was the other one? I think that was it was those four.
Okay. I mean, I've been backburnering Meshuggah for a long time because that's the Titan band for me of all time. I'm absolutely down to do that. Um, hmm. Yeah, let's fucking do Meshuggah, dude. I'm
That's
on
what
a
I
huge
thought.
Meshuggah train right now, so hell yeah, I'm definitely down for that, dude.
Yeah, I figured you would be up for it, especially since you that post concert we all
Oh
do
yeah,
listening to the shit out of those bands. So, and
absolutely.
I thought we did one, but apparently we never did.
Yeah, no, never did Meshuggah. I I would have remembered that for sure, and like I said, I knew that we haven't because I've always kind of kept them in the back of my mind doing it, but I also wasn't sure how into their discography you were, how much you knew of it. But I don't know. I felt like there for a little bit, you weren't really on board with them totally. Because, like, I
So,
remember the era
yeah.
of Violent Sleeper Reason, and I was trying to cram Clockworks, that song, down my friend's ears, you know. And I think you were one of them. But, like, I tried to get Collins to listen to it too, and I played it for him. Like, I found this one crazy streaming site on the backyard in the prison, and I was able to access, and it had Clockworks on it. And so, like, I played Clockworks on this shitty computer speaker for Collins. And after it, he just still wasn't impressed, and I was so sad. I was like, "Damn it, dude!"
I do like Meshuggah. I don't know. I feel like sometimes they do kind of rub me the wrong way. So specifically with the Violent Sleeper Reason, it was that opener Clocks. And I didn't mind it when I first heard it, but then I watched the music video, and something about the music video made me realize how repetitive that song was, and that's what made me just like, I can't with it. And then you kept playing as like, nope, I can't do this. But I
It's
do
such an
like,
it's such an epic breakdown, I think, and it's not even really a breakdown. It's like a progressive build up to an even more gentler section, you know. But that band they are riff writers if they're anything, man. I mean, they
Mhm.
fucking take a riff and they play it in 20 different ways in one song, you know. That's what's just so cool about them to me. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm up for it because I do love Meshuggah. I was even playing. Out of jealousy, been playing a lot of Meshuggah as well. I even went back to the Catch 33 album, which is still awesome.
Yeah. Oh, dude, so
So
good.
I'm up for it. Because
Hell
I
yeah.
remember even when I was moving, I started listening to some of their older stuff. I want to say I listened to like Chaos Sphere, and that's when I discovered their like
Mm.
thrash era stuff. The which one is it? The Statue of Liberty one?
Contradictions collapse.
Yeah, where it's
Yeah.
pretty much Metallica.
There might be one before that one that's mostly all Metallica, because Contradictions Collapse, that has Future Breed Machine on it, and that one's actually pretty still kind of techie Meshuggah-ish. Like they play it at almost every show now. You know, it's one of the enders. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think they definitely still have the Metallica aspects in there, especially on the vocals.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm up for it.
Sweet.
Let's do Meshuggah. Um,
Fuck yeah.
but yeah. On that, do you have anything else before we start plugging away?
I don't think so, dude. Plug it.
All right. So if you enjoyed this podcast, you can check out our other older podcasts. We got a whole catalog of episodes. If I don't die, we have You can also check us out on TikTok. It's been extended for another 75 days. So you
hell
can check
yeah.
it out if you're in the US. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on Facebook. You can check us out pretty much anywhere you get your podcast. You can go to Castbox, Apple Podcasts. Pretty big market over on
Oh,
Apple Podcasts. We have a lot of
okay.
listeners over there if you want to check it out through there. You can
Sweet.
also email us directly at deathmeldaddies@gmail.com. But until then, see you next time. Death Metal Daddies out.
Bye bye. You're fond of me, lobster, ain't ye?